some weird, wild stuff. That is funny. I did not know that.
Dropping drawers and stabbing whores on the Kevin Holly Show.
And I gotta say, he has balls. This man has balls. He's laying them out there for us to see.
That's like, it looks like our first date kit.
Ever shared a lustful evening with a Muslim woman?
We're dropping drawers and stabbing whores. It's the Kevin Holly Show.
Person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
Got a pirate radio station. Nobody knows who he is.
You out there? You listening?
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Kevin Holly Show. Sorry about that rough start. If you're listening to us on Spreaker.com, go ahead and share the broadcast. I had to start that feed over, but we are live on the IRN right on time. Hopefully. So, thank you to Lionel Nation and all of his listeners for sticking around with the IRN, and I hope you enjoy our show. It is loosely based on comedy, but sometimes it's a comedy-free zone, according to Pat Shit Crazy. And speaking of Pat is in the house. Pat Berger. We've also got my man Pops and Jay Bird, my executive producer, unproductive reproduction agent. It's so hard to get that right. How the hell are you, Jay?
I am doing outstanding.
Outstanding. I like that. Pops, how the hell are you, man?
I'm here, man.
You're here, man.
Yeah.
Pops was picking on me in the parking lot because of my LA Dodgers hat. We'll get into that in a minute, maybe. I don't know.
No, I think we should get into that right now, dude. What the hell is with the LA Dodgers?
I'm a baseball fan.
If any of our fans are listening from LA, or if we have any fans that are LA Dodgers fans, anybody that listens to us, if you even like the LA Dodgers, call us right now at 727-237-6010 and tell us that Kevin should keep the hat on. Otherwise, I say he should burn it by the beginning of hour 3.
I was kind of interested to see what Pops had to say about the hat.
Pops is a baseball fan. I would imagine he likes the LA Dodgers hat.
I said you ought to take it and burn it.
Why?
Burn that shit.
Why are you guys hating
what I really
LA
said is,
Dodgers.
I said, holy crap. Now that his team won a World Series after 100 years trying, he's going to the perennial winner. That's a switch in time that I'll never understand. Then he told me that there were some strings attached. You got a free meal, and you felt obligated to the hat in some way or something. I don't know.
It's not true, Pops. I found this hat at breakfast 6 years ago.
Oh, well, I don't know. You should have left it there. Anybody that loves the L.A. Dodgers eats shits from rabbits and parks at the moon.
Maybe guilty of barking at the moon. I don't know. I like the hat, Pops. It's comfortable. It's my most comfortable hat.
Well, then wear it.
Well, now I feel bad. You guys
expect
want me
a
to
lot
burn
of
it?
ridicule from me and all of your friends.
Yeah, I mean...
Especially your Cub fans. That's going to be a tough one.
Why would that be a tough one? They're all baseball fans.
They're baseball fans, not L.A. Dodger fans.
What if I had a Brewers hat on?
Well, that's a different story, but...
how is it different?
No, it's not even different because I don't give a shit about the Brewers, so...
But you hate the Dodgers.
If you had a Packers hat on right now, that would be all right with me entirely.
I don't look good in green and yellow.
Well, it's an L.A. Dodgers. California isn't
After we sat and you gave me your Cubs hat, if I'd have known you were going to be wearing a Dodgers hat, I would have never taken your hat. I would, as a matter of fact, I'm going to send it back to you tonight.
Pops, listen.
Express mail.
Pops, I think we should take the plaque off the wall tonight.
No, man.
No, we're not Indian givers.
No, we're not. But, if this guy isn't going to be a faithful, true red and
Cub
blue
fan.
Cubs fan
After they win the World Series.
after they win the World Series,
I
then
am.
you're
And
going to...
then, hey, it wouldn't be bad if he took any other friggin' team in the either league. But he takes the friggin' L.A. Dodgers.
I could name two right off the bat that would be worse. That would be the Indians that they beat in the World Series last year. If I had a Cleveland Indians hat, that would be like,
No, I could understand that. You'd at least you'd have a little pride then because you had something to talk. We beat them.
Hey, Kevin, having some experience in debate background, not a lot, mind you, might you want to argue this point with that hat off?
No, then it's like admitting defeat. Now, the other team...
No, you've already lost.
I would say the other team would be the Red Sox. What if I had a Red Sox hat on?
Well, then you'd just be a dumb dick.
What about a Cardinals hat? Pops, that's 3 right there. What would be more sacrilegious than a Red Sox or Cardinals hat?
Okay.
To a Cub fan.
What if I came in with a Vikings hat on? What the hell would you say to me?
The Dodgers are not in the Cubs division. The Dodgers are a National League team.
Okay. What if I come in with a Redskins hat on? Or
that's cool.
Well, Redskins, Chuck, that's a little too much. But what if I come in with an Eagles hat on?
Wouldn't it be something if next year the Cubs and the Dodgers are in the World Series and the Dodgers kick the Cubs' ass?
That's impossible. They're both National League teams, Pops.
Yeah, but what if they were in the...
Who are you to yell at me, Pops?
What?
What he said was, what if they were in the divisional round, the NFC,
the divisional round. That's what I meant.
Not divisional round, but
the National League Divisional Series.
Yeah.
The
NLDS, whatever.
Yeah, then you can wear your freaking Dodgers.
I would not be wearing my Dodgers. Wear the Cubs hat.
No, you wouldn't.
All the time.
Oh, you're a true fan when they're up against the Dodgers.
So because I'm a diehard Cubs fan, I'm not allowed to wear another team's hat.
You can
you're
do it.
Exactly right.
You can do whatever you want. But if you were a Dodgers fan, I'm free and able and willing, and you got to live with the fact that I'm going to give you some shit about it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the.
That's fine. Then quit your bitching and be quiet and talk about something else. Like
I was going to run out and get either a shovel or a backhoe. You're digging so fast. Which would you prefer, Kevin?
The backhoe because it says hoe in it.
It's a rapid pace that you're digging yourself into this hole.
So just so everybody knows, Kevin is not a true Cubs fan.
No, I can't believe it.
Bullshit. That's
I can't
bullshit.
believe it. I can't believe it.
I can't either. I can't either.
He slipped off the deep edge. You got. I don't know.
Fine. Here.
You got a free meal.
There's the hat.
There we go.
Hat's gone.
Congratulations. Happy birthday to Kevin. Happy birthday to Kevin.
Hey, Pops. Guess whose birthday it really is today?
Lori's.
Negative. My daughter.
Oh,
She turned
Marilyn?
12 today. Yes, sir.
Oh, happy birthday, Marilyn.
Happy birthday, Marilyn.
That explains that hair loss.
Yeah, and the grayness to it. Why you got to talk about Pop's hair loss, man?
No,
He's
I
actually
was
got a lot of
talking about yours. And the
Are you
going to
let him make fun of your dad like that, Jay? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Of course he can. That's what we do, right? We
Why?
make fun of everybody.
Why do I get picked on more than anybody here, man?
Because it's the Kevin Holly show.
Man,
Or the Kevin Harding show. I'm not sure which, but
I think we should change the name to the El Kevo El Jo show. What? I'm just saying.
dude, then we're gonna get freaking.
Well, we aren't going to call
We're gonna
it.
get kicked out
We
of
aren't
the
going to call it
country,
the
then.
LA Dodgers show. That's for damn sure.
Let me ask you a question. I'm not wearing the hat, okay? So that's out of it.
All
but,
right.
Jaybird, you mentioned the Philadelphia Eagles. What if I had an Eagles hat? And to me, that is probably one of the most famously bad fan bases of all sports teams. Based on some negative reports in the media through some of the playoffs in the 90s and early 2000s where they were, throwing snowballs at players in the aisle, whatever. Now, you're comparing the Dodgers of Los Angeles to the Eagles of Philadelphia. And I think there's so many traditional baseball, National League, real true baseball fans that are fans of the Brooklyn Dodgers, the LA Dodgers, players that have been on the Dodgers like Fernando Valenzuela, Clayton
Tony
Kershaw.
La Russa, the manager for years.
Isn't it Don Mattingly
But that
now?
doesn't
I mean,
matter. It doesn't matter.
I think
dude.
it's a great organization. It's a great National League team. They're very competitive. They're fun to watch. They got some great players. I mean, come on, dude.
No, but all right. So what if I came in with an Oakland Raider hat on? and I had a new one. And it said the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay,
I would autograph that and make it worth even less than it already is.
Yeah, don't touch my hats.
The owner's got $750 million from the city of Las Vegas.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, Pops, how
Wouldn't
about
happen.
And then he bet it all on black.
Bergie's in the house? Pops, what about the rumors that have been going around about Derek Jeter, former Yankees fame, teaming up with Jeb Bush, the former governor of Florida, to buy the Miami Marlins? What do you think of that? Have you seen that in the news?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, that's a potential purchase. Yeah.
I haven't seen the news in quite a while, Kevin. You're rubbing it in, you bastard.
I'm sorry. Well, that's why I'm here for you, Pops.
He just listens to that liberal crap anyway.
I do not.
Snowflake.
With my California
That's
hat.
no rumor, man. That's going around. What's crazy about that?
With the L.A., that California thing?
No. Jeb Bush and Derek Jeter
okay.
teaming up. They freaking... The guy that owns the team only paid like $150 million. $158 million. Am I wrong?
I don't remember.
I think it was about $158 million. And he's selling it for about $1.8 billion. What a freaking
What a profit.
markup.
Yeah. So that's why it takes the likes of Jeb Bush and Derek Jeter to be able to afford the opportunity to buy the Miami Marlins, or any professional sports team for that matter, in this day and age, right? Am I right? Am I lying, Jay?
I think we should buy a professional team, dude.
Didn't the Marlins win the World Series one year and then they gave their team away?
Pops, are you kidding me? You're going to bring up the 2003 Steve Bartman game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Marlins beat the Cubs in 2003 for... Look at him laughing. Oh, you son of a bitch. You got me. All right. It's funny. Last night I was actually watching 30 for 30 on ESPN. It was pretty late. And I was watching the Cubs game on another format. And the 30 for 30 was about the Steve Bartman ball. And, dude, it was really cool to watch because they had used photo editing software to remove all of the other fans that were sitting around Steve Bartman. And it was just Steve Bartman reaching for the ball and Moises Alou jumping over the wall for the ball. And there was no other people or hands or anything else. And it clearly showed that Moises Alou would have caught that ball. But what it didn't show, which they showed after it, was the same video with all of the fans that were also reaching for the ball. And poor Steve Bartman almost got killed. They were throwing beers on him. They had death threats. They had police barricaded around his house. He had to live in hiding. It took years for him to be able to mingle back into society. But what I learned from the 30-30 last night is that you saw him with the green turtleneck and the glasses, the Cubs hat, and the headphones, and he was listening to the radio. That's the guy that reached out and went to grab the ball. Well, which later, turned into an 8-run inning, and the Cubs lost their 3-run lead and eventually lost Game 6 in the NLCS, the championship series. And because of that, Game 7, they got smoked, and they didn't go to the World Series in 2003. Thanks, Pops, for, reminding me of that. But anyway, what happened, though, is...
Sure you don't want to blame it on the Russians?
I'm pretty sure. Maybe, though. We'll see. Give me a second on that. So it all comes down to what he was wearing that night. They escorted him out of the stadium. They dressed him up like stadium security. And he still got spotted. So one of the security teams, a lady, brought him into her apartment because they were near it. And they ran down the street. They were trying to get him a cab. Well, if you look at the videos and all of them escorting him out and all the replays, he's wearing a black sweater with a green turtleneck. The black sweater, if you look at it closely, says Renegades on it. Renegades happens to be the Little League baseball team that Steve Bartman coached and had done it for years. And then they showed his house, and his house was down the left field foul pole line to the Little League field. You know what I mean? This guy was a true baseball fan, a true Cubs fan, and did the same exact thing that like 7 other people did around him. They all reached for the ball. He just happened to be closest. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the documentary on 30 for 30 interviewed all the different fans that participated, so it was really cool to get their points of view, and there was cell phone video. Anyway, a true Cubs fan, Steve Bartman, probably never wear a Dodgers hat, unless he's incognito, because he's got death threat. I don't know, So maybe it's a Bartman thing, Pops. Maybe that's why I wore the hat. I don't know. Anyway. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to us on Spreaker.com, share it with your friends, Facebook it, tweet it out, Follow us on Twitter at Kevin Holly Show 4. Call us up on the hotline 727-237-6010. And also listen to us live on IRNbroadcast.com. The IRN, baby. Go on TuneIn Radio. Open up your app. Search for IRN. And listen to us live on Wednesday nights. You can also listen to our replays on the IRN 3 to 6 on Saturdays and 8 to 11 on Fridays. That's AM 8 to 11. Excuse me. Also, we do have a special guest calling in at about the 9:30 mark in the second hour. That would be a famous author and also a radio host and a former criminal defense prosecutor and attorney by the name of Fletcher Long. So we'll talk to Fletcher Long about his book in the second hour here and pick his brain a little bit. I wonder if any of the trials that in 18 years, Jaybird, he went to a bunch of trials that were covered by the media that may be kind of high profile. I wonder, So we'll have to talk to Mr. Long here in the second hour. So that
he
being
was
said,
a prosecutor?
Criminal defense attorney for 18
not a
or 20
prosecutor,
years.
opposite of a prosecutor.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm wondering what kind of cases. He's from Kentucky. He's got a really cool voice, I was really hoping that he would sound like that rooster from Looney Tunes. Do you know what I'm talking about? What was that rooster's name?
Foghorn Leghorn.
Foghorn Leghorn. Thank you. He'd be like,
why? I tell you.
Yeah. I tell you, Kevin, it's been an honor to come on the Kevin Hollis Show. If he could do a promo like that for us, that'd be fantastic. Anyway. So I have something really cool. Also, hit us up in the chat room on Spreaker, by the way. Glick's in there, our chat room moderator. I got to talk about this real quick. Holy crap. I was going to save this, but there's nobody else in the chat room right now, I don't think. There's a few people in there. Glick, of the famous Periscope show, Vape and Chill, who we love and we promote, and we've been interacting with Glick, and he's been interacting with us for going on 2 years now. He was in Tampa. Now, he lives in South Carolina, okay? His address is, I'm just kidding. But he came down to Legoland with his family and made the trip down I-4 into Hillsborough County, where he stayed at a beautiful hotel in Tampa. And Mr. Berge and I made the trip out there in my car. Not the Uber car, but the blue car.
Got spitballed. Yep,
it did get spitballed. There's a video of that on Twitter. There's also a video on our Facebook page, the Kevin Holly Show fun page, of Glick walking into the bathroom, and I followed him with video. He had no idea. And 9 seconds into it, he farts, and my phone shakes because I pulled it back like, whoa. He's like... It was pretty gross, man, but it was pretty funny. Anyway, nice. We got to meet Glick.
Can we see this on the Kevin Holly Show?
It's Facebook? on the fun page on Facebook. Yeah, just search the Kevin Holly Show fun page on Google or on Facebook, and you will find it. It is a closed group, so you'll have to, be let in by one of the members. We let pretty much anybody in that's not like a cop. So if you're a cop, we don't have a show page.
You might see.
Wow, we're cop haters now.
You might get to. And so you might get to see him naked in bed if you're on late enough.
The only rules in the show page and the fun page, we have 2 pages, is no attacking guest promotions. If we have a future guest that's scheduled to come on the show, we promote them on the page.
What are you talking about?
The couple of Facebook pages that we have is for people to look at and join and follow our show and interact with us. Also, no attacking anybody's children, and no, we don't like mild racism is okay. It's funny. Come on, you're a honky Jay, whatever. But if it gets down and dirty racism, we kind of shy away from that. So be cool, and don't report people. That's my biggest rule. If you see something you don't like, just keep scrolling or just exit. That's all.
See it, don't say something.
Yeah, basically, like you. Why you got in the army in the first place? Bert?
What does this pertain to?
Don't ask, don't tell. Just our Facebook page. Just telling people some of the rules on...
Whose Facebook page?
The Kevin Holly Show Facebook page. The Kevin Parting Show Facebook page. Yeah.
You go there all the time,
you did all this without authorization from us? What the fuck's going on here?
That was one of the first things we ever did for this show. The Kevin Holly Show Facebook page is original. That's been here since we've been here.
Started a fun page. I don't know.
I did.
The Kevin Holly fun page. Did you authorize any... Did you sign any releases for that? Because your face is all over that.
Is it? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It is not. So, anyway.
We call it mandatory fun in the Army.
Yeah, you put the man in mandatory, don't you there?
Roger that.
So, we got to see Glick at the Sheraton in Tampa at the airport, right? Well, it was basically by International Mall right in downtown Tampa. And I got to meet his wife, Lady Glick, mother-in-law, and children. And they went to the pool, and myself and Pat Berge here and Chris Glick sat at the hotel bar, And I had a couple of cocktails. I had a couple of beers. We stayed there for about 2 or 3 hours.
Coke.
Oh, yeah, you drank Coke and water, I remember. Glick had a couple of Mick Ultras. He's been going to the gym, Jay.
Glick, I was not invited. I'm just going to let you know right now.
Neither was I, Glick.
That's complete BS.
We'd have
No,
been
it's true.
there. We'd have been there. But you know who
I would've so been
you know
there,
the
Glick.
elite to the Kevin Holly show is.
Yeah.
It's not me and Jay.
You were fresh out of rehab like a day, Pops. It was like the Saturday before you came home or the Sunday.
No, he was fresh out of rehab last
I came here
Thursday.
when I was fresh out of rehab. I came here and
day-
performed at the Kevin Holly show.
Yeah.
Asshole me.
Yeah. Dumb shit.
Lots of reward. Lots
Yeah.
of thanks I get. Shit.
Free frickin' beers on the Kevin Holly show, and we're screwed, Pops.
Yeah.
We're screwed.
God.
That's all right. Sorry, Glick, dude. I'm
Glick's
telling
my
you.
favorite guy, and I wanted to meet him so bad. Sorry, Glick. Sorry, Glick.
Oh, my God.
Another notch in the Guinea crown.
Feeling the love, Kevin.
Kevin's still a dick.
Oh, it's good to
That's
know
all I
where
can
you
say.
stand.
Jay,
Always
you
good
are
to know
throwing me
where
under the bus, dude. This is so wrong. That's so unfair, dude.
It's so true, though.
It is
It's
sort of
not.
true.
It is not.
Pat, he said,
We even discussed picking them up.
yeah.
Well-
and he was like, no, we're not doing that.
To be honest, the schedule was up in the air until like an hour before we left to go there. In
Oh,
fact,
yeah,
we
yeah.
left Pat's car in Palm Harbor at the charging
Listen,
station.
I'm sure I was probably ready to go.
Listen to him. He's getting tongue-tied.
yeah.
I was all the way in
I
Palm
would've-
Hey, it's just like the hat. Let's drop the subject and talk about something.
I didn't
pleasant.
ask him to drive me, Dad. I just said, tell me where the meeting is. I would have
Lock to something.
I got a car.
Let's talk
You know.
about something worthwhile, like abortion and making it retroactive.
Thank you, Pops.
Thank you. I like that.
All right, listen, I have something I want to play so bad, and I'm waiting for Trucker Kathy in the chat room. I'm dying, man. I'm chomping at the bit here.
Is Kathy there?
No, man, and I think it's because she might not have gotten the alert. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll message her
Or
on
she got
Facebook
the
here. Should we call Trucker Kathy real quick? Why don't we do that?
Sure.
All right, let's call Trucker Kathy.
Really short for material tonight.
We'll see why she's not in the chat room, because I made something for her.
I got something to do if you ain't got nothing, man. I got a little quiz.
run it by us.
Pops has a bunch of paperwork, man.
No, I
tonight.
got a bunch of paperwork. It's all most of it's in my
What the
head.
hell is it?
Well, a quiz. You guys up for a quiz? And Glick is here. Anybody else in his chat room?
No, not yet. Hold on a second.
Hold on. He's going to wake up Kathy.
Here we go. It's ringing. I'm calling directly to the cab of her big rig, her tractor trailer.
Don't cause an accident.
I hope I don't cause an accident.
If you're listening to the show in your car on, was it IRN, please keep your eye on the road.
Yeah, keep your eye on the road. And the dial. Don't change.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Good morning.
It's her voicemail. I guarantee it. Kath?
What's up?
It's not. Hey, Trucker
Yeah.
Kathy. You're
25 p.m. here in California.
you're live on the Kevin Holly Show. Are you a Dodger fan out there in California?
No, I am not.
All right. Listen, are you listening to our show right now?
No, I will be in a little while as soon as I get parked at my customers.
How long is that going to be?
Probably about, the way the traffic is, half hour.
Good Lord, I can't wait that long. I made you a present. I can't wait for you to hear it. I think you're going to really like it.
What is it?
Oh, it's a song. I wrote a song for you.
Kathy, this is
Oh,
Pat.
you did? You can't wait till I get home in 3 weeks and serenade me?
No, Kathy, this is Pat. I just got to know, how long does it take you to get back here after hearing this song?
How long will it take me to get back from here to there?
Just curious.
Yeah,
curious.
he's insinuating that if you hear the song
Not insinuating.
and get really mad at it, how long will it take you to get back here so he has enough time to charge his car and leave?
No, I want to
Oh,
see
really?
Kevin get the shit beat out of him.
I'm setting my
Well,
calendar.
Being that I can say what I need to say over the phone, knowing Kevin, he'd probably hang up on me.
Well, knowing you're going to get triggered when you hear it. So I guess we'll save this for sometime later in the show. If you promise to tune in, I'll wait for you.
Okay, yeah, you don't want to piss me off while I'm driving in LA traffic.
No, that wouldn't be good. That would not be good.
No.
But
The idiots out here piss me off enough.
we are going to need a small donation for this effort that Kevin's put forward.
Yeah, bite me, Jaybird.
Hey, don't tease him with the good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
He
I
wouldn't
wish
know
you
a
could
good time.
periscope her response watching it. Or
I know,
listening
dude.
to
If you could Periscope or Facebook Live while you're listening to it, so we can get your response and play it loud in the background, that'd be really cool.
But you have to wait till I park, because I really can't do anything while I'm driving.
All right, I'll wait for you in the chat room, and then when I know you're in there, I'll play it.
Okay.
All right,
Give
Trucker
me a
Kathy,
few.
everybody. Trucker Kathy. All right, see you.
Bye.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Either Kevin hung up with her or she crashed. I don't know what happened there.
It could have been a crash. I really
So hey,
churched that up, man.
listen, when you went to go see Glick, you did bring him the swag pack.
I
that you
did.
had for him, did
Bro,
you?
I gave him a swag pack to the mother of all swag packs. I put it in a little flowery floral pattern gift bag, and I gave him a Kevin Holly Show card. You know, we got those cards made. And inside the card, I said, "You are my effing hero." And I gave him an expired haircut ticket for big league cuts over here.
Several people at the bar complimented Kevin on his gift bag choice.
They really did. There was a couple old people at the bar that were like,
They thought he was gay.
they thought Glick was gay. It was
No,
hilarious.
no. They thought you strolling in with that little pinky bag and your conversation with Glick. Do you remember the look on their face?
Yeah, it was
and I
pretty
was
bad.
like, and I said to the lady, "Hey, don't judge them, ma'am."
Mm-hmm. I do recall
I
this.
defended you guys.
Dude, inside his gift bag, he got a Kevin Holly Show koozie, the yellow one that I always used with my name marked in Sharpie marker on it. Then I took your idea from your friend at the rehab center, and I personalized a towel that said TKHS on it, a little hand towel. And
Nice.
yeah, I gave him
was
some
used.
vape juice that I had laying around from Captain Jason, a full bottle of unused, unopened vape juice.
Expired.
No, it wasn't expired. And I also gave him some stickers, some swag, some stuff
You
from
used underwear.
Actually, no, not the stickers. That's in his swag pack that's still up there on the cabinet on the microwave.
That's a
old
bottle
underwear.
of tequila, man.
I did give him a bottle of bikini underwear that my dad gave me a handful of polos, a couple of pairs of shorts, the ones I'm wearing right now, like hand-me-down style. Some of them
We
was-
don't need to get that personal.
Glick
Well,
says they thought everybody thought you guys were having a triple gay hookup.
They totally did.
and Pat was the leader of it. dude.
No, the guy with the little pink bag.
You know, Pat looked like
Totally was.
the To Catch
She
a Pedophile
totally made
guy.
a comment on it.
You know, because he's older than us. Yeah,
I
yeah.
looked like I was arresting the two of you.
You should have periscoped it, man.
Oh man, it was cool. Glick's awesome. He was so nice, man. I got a couple of bro hugs from him. Just like you see on Periscope, he's the same person, in the hotel bar.
Did you have a Superman shirt on?
No, he had a Cavaliers shirt on, I believe, or no, Cincinnati Reds jersey and a
It was
Cincinnati
LA,
hat.
wasn't it?
No, it wasn't L.A. It was Cincinnati Reds, man.
Did you have your LA Dodgers hat on?
No, I did not. I had my Rays hat. I had my Tampa Bay Rays hat. Does that make me bad?
No, I accept that.
Okay.
I accept that.
My second favorite comfortable hat.
right.
My Cubs hat is my favorite
Wait,
hat,
what?
but it's not as comfortable. It's real stiff.
No, your second. That you said that was the LA Dodgers hat. Was
You want
most-
your
first
Cubs
most
hat that I got back? Was that comfortable?
No, Pops. I don't
No.
want that back. No.
You sure?
I want you to have that. It's my gift to you. I watched them win the World Series with you, Pops.
Yeah, you did. We
108
did.
years,
We did.
man. So
Yep.
that hat's for you, dude. But I'm not giving back the placard up there on the wall with the 98 or 93 Cubs roster. Dawn
I'll
Russ.
give you enough animosity on that one. You deserve it.
Thank you, Pops.
That's the whole reason the Cubs won is because
Man.
we gave you that.
It's possible. Didn't that come
It
from?
is. It's
That come from Brian, didn't it?
yeah,
That's crazy, man. You actually gave him money for that, didn't you?
yeah. I paid for that.
$35.
Holy crap.
40.
Well, there's 25 baseball cards on there. Is Homeless Chuck here tonight? Oh, what? Too soon? What? Has anybody heard from Homeless Chuck since last Wednesday?
Yeah, I've talked to him. I talked to him today.
What did he have
Talk to
bad
him.
things to say about me?
Not at all. Not at all.
All
He's
right.
just
Is he mad?
no. He's just not really having fun doing the podcast anymore. So it isn't.
Okay. All right. That's
I mean,
cool.
that's just it is what it is. I mean, I still love Chuck. Freaking, I'll always love him. But
I do too.
if it's not what he wants to do, it's not what he wants to do. I'm not going to let that end my relationship. when I tell you to go fuck yourself, I'm done with this shit. I hope you don't hate me too. But
No, I mean, Chuck unfriended me on Facebook, though. The reason I found that out is because after the show, when I went home, I had a friend request from Chuck. I was like,
hey, Kevin, though, really.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind with everything that he just said and how he just said it? You were sitting there thinking, this is a song that I'm going to make out of the words that he just said.
Absolutely not. That was not going
the
through my head.
relationship with Chuck?
No.
I could sit here looking at him going, oh, yeah, he's making this into a song. Watch it, Jay. I'm telling you right now.
You know what? I have an idea. I think we should play...
Chuck will always be my friend, whether he's here till the end. So you can use this bit, my friend. No, you know what? You know, Chuck, it is what it is, man. You know, I'll still always... I'll still always be friends with Chuck. I hope you will too.
Of course.
But if he's over the podcast and it's not, my guess is he'll probably be back someday. But
do you think he's going to make his own podcast?
No, I don't think.
Well, this is us. Hold on. Oh, it's going to buffer. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, and then it didn't work. That was a total failure.
Should play the music to the end of My Bodyguard as Jay
repeats
what he just said.
This is me and Pat and Bergie at the hotel bar. This is me and Jay and homeless Chuck in Jay's kitchen. This is me and Jay and Pops watching the World Series. You ready?
Classic. We are back. We are back. We are getting Doug back.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have. We're the three best friends that anyone could have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. And we'll never, ever, 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 ever leave each other. We're the best three friends that anybody could have.
Click. Chris. Pat, Jay, Pops, Chuck.
Who is this, though? Who is this, the three best friends? Is it me, you, and Pops? It
varies on the night.
It Pat, and Chuck?
It depends on who's together that particular moment.
Is it me, you, and Pat?
It's a spiritual thing, Jay.
What are you talking about here?
I'm talking about us, man. It all comes back to me and you, dude.
It's Kevin and 6 other guys. Depends which one he's with.
Well, it should be the 7 best friends that anybody could have.
It doesn't leave anybody out.
Well,
Pivot,
Pops,
man.
you complete me. What? Let's all hug. Let's all hug it out right now. You three first. Let's do this. Hold on, let me get my camera. What? Feel the silence in the room. All right, I have an idea. Why don't we...
I was reading I didn't hear the thing you said.
you were
I was
texting?
reading...
Were you flirting with Kathy again?
No, I was just looking up something called Little Dicky.
Okay.
It's supposed to be funny. I don't know. Maybe thinking about for the second hour.
Okay. Cool. I was thinking we should play a portion of what I made for Kathy before we actually play it for her. This way that everybody else can hear it.
That's such cheese dick nipple stuff. Like
everybody else can hear it except for her.
Okay,
let's do it.
No.
Yeah?
I think we should do it, yeah, sure.
I think Pops is saying that so he can stab you in the back later.
Kevin
Yes.
Kevin wants to do it, and he's going to do it. You know, let's
Now, you
let's
remember
do it. Let's
everything
do it.
I
Let's
said
do
to
it.
you before this.
I'm not doing it.
That's cheese dick. It's got to be if it's for her and it's her. You can't break it out until she's here.
I have an idea. How about
she's a loyal fan, and you gotta.
I'll play the song that this parody is based off of. Just a clip.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Here
right.
we go. Here we go. And
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your ass invited. So gonna get to clapping.
it's a popular song on the radio waves. It's Bruno Mars.
I've never heard this before in my life. I swear to God.
Wait for the chorus.
Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail for dinner. Julio served that scampi. You got it if you want it. Got it if you want it. Said you got it if you want it. Take my wallet if you want it now. Jump in the Cadillac. Girl, let's put some miles on it.
Look at Jay's bobbing his head. Jay likes it. Pat's bobbing his head too.
Baby, you deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright. Strawberry.
Oh yeah.
It's just a little thing like Kevin too.
That's what I like.
That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like.
Swear to God, I'm telling you the honest truth. I've never heard this song in my life.
Well, if you listen to some of the other radio stations besides Laura Ingram, then you would probably have heard it because they play it nonstop. They really did.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I swear to God. I've heard of Bruno Mars before on maybe a couple occasions, but I do not know this song one bit. I've never heard that in my life.
Well, it's a song about treating a lady right and, giving her stuff and never lying to her,
And listening to Kevin's version won't ruin this one for you now.
No.
Because you never really knew it.
Oh, yeah, that's what he likes. Lucky for Kathy, that's what he likes,
Because that's what he likes.
All right, so anyway, we'll get to that later on in the show. I have a few things written down. We don't have a lot of time before we take our first break here, but
how about the freaking wildfires going on in Florida?
That's on my list, actually. Where is my...
Is it on your list?
Yeah,
imagine that. Because your house just about burnt down.
It did, man, almost. The fire is now 7,000 acres, like 50% contained, and it's in Starkey Wilderness Park, which is 2 streets from my house. But yeah, the wildfires were so smoky that they closed my kid's school down.
Just when you got your lawn the way you wanted it.
Yeah, but you got to understand, when you drive down Kevin's neighborhood, listen, I'm telling you straight up, when you drive down my neighborhood, every lawn is like brown, a little bit of green here and there, okay? You drive down Kevin's neighborhood, it's like green.
Across
then you get to Kevin's yard, and it's like mostly brown.
It looks like the fire. It looked like the fire just went through there and jumped all the other yards.
Yeah. Thanks. It's Bahia. It doesn't come back until June.
Yeah, it looks like
all your neighbor's grass is green as shit.
That's Floritam.
It's like when you drive through Kevin's neighborhood, all you got to do is he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have the yard with a really brown grass."
Well, I had the
you don't
fire
have to
do
give his
that.
address or nothing.
How does it just jump from house over to neighborhood like
It looks like a forest fire ripped right through here.
And then jumped. Didn't touch the neighbors.
I should take a picture of it and be like, wow, these Pasco County fires are relentless. Look what it did to my lawn.
Nice.
Kevin could be like, I'm a water conservationist over here. I'm not,
yeah, we're zero escaping.
You should just throw some rocks, dude. Be the only person
with
in
a rock
the
yard.
2,200 home community with a rock yard, bro.
I think that's against the homeowners association.
It probably is.
Deed restrictions and all that.
Yeah, you can't have a rock yard. What are they going to do? Are they going to make you pick the rocks up?
Well, yeah, they would make you rectify the situation and then comply.
And then you have to put New Bahia down?
I'm sorry, what? Put
New Bahia?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, Bahia.
Bahia?
Oh,
Bahia?
The grass plant, yes.
The grass thing.
I would
How big is your lot?
Probably about 6,000 square feet, 10,000 square feet, I don't know.
So can you get a fine for it looking all brown and icky like yours is?
You could if it wasn't dry season. Yeah, if I don't have it fixed up by next month, of course. It's not that bad.
They're gonna give you hell by the middle of June, right?
I might get a notice. I mean, I've never got one before.
You should call the county on him.
I know, shouldn't I? I'll be like, he had cars parked on there. That's why it's so brown.
I had a landlord
Periscope
that did that.
Yeah.
60 by 100. That's 1,000. That's 6,000 square feet. 60 by 100.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the exact dimensions. It's just a regular lot.
Yeah.
So,
well,
dude,
you could put that like that stuff I had on the trailers.
The artificial grass.
Well,
the lawn turf.
It's expensive, but I mean, you could.
You could put that down.
Homeowners Association deed restrictions.
That's perfectly green grass, man.
It looked like Bermuda, dude.
Yeah.
You could put a budding green out
and
there.
You never have to do nothing with it.
That's a great idea,
For
Pops.
your size, miniature golf would be perfect, dude.
I would put a mini golf course up for that. It's a great idea. Do they have Xeriscape AstroTurf mini golf course, lots in California.
With your house,
Saudi Arabia, they're pretty.
With your house and your pool, you can't have that much square grass.
All I have is a front yard and a little patch on the side. That's it. Yeah. It's all swimming pool, Pops.
Yeah.
It's all ball bearings nowadays, Pops. It's all about ball bearings nowadays.
Well, thank God you don't have a bunch of trees dumping leaves all over, because you'd probably be... That whole subdivision would probably be burning down, man.
Yeah.
Just because
it's
you
really
guys
hot.
dump, you know, every family in that area dumps like 500 gallons of water on their yards a day. It's the only reason you guys haven't already been burnt down.
Kevin just emptied his pool and refilled it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's
just
easier
like
than
thousands and thousands of gallons.
He
of
just
water.
wanted a skateboard
Wasted.
in it. He just wanted a skateboard
just
in
for
it.
a couple days and then refilled it.
You know how many bodies I could put in that pool?
If you knew how many times he pissed in the pool, you'd understand.
So, anyway, Big Black died.
I saw. No, I didn't see that. Somebody told me today, and at first I didn't even remember who he was, but I saw that.
Yeah, Robin Big show on MTV.
Yeah.
Later was like the Dream Factory or something like that.
I haven't heard of him either, Pops.
Huh?
I haven't heard of him either.
See, this is
Big
one that
Black.
I did.
Do you know Big Black?
Big Black, Dad? Do you know him?
Who?
Exactly.
Big Black.
Big Black? No.
Yeah, neither do I.
And it's not the guy you used to sell tools to in...
No.
That's not the guy you used to sell tools to in Milwaukee.
Muskegee.
It's another BB.
That was Henry, Lloyd Henry.
Lloyd Henry, yeah.
That's the one Jay went up. He was about 4 years old. See this finger? See this thumb? See this fist? You better run. Lloyd Henry jumped about 6 feet up in the air. Hey, you're a tough little white boy. most little white boys just look at him and they run.
Wow, Jay, that's fucking Tony Tough Guy over there, Jay Bird. At a young age. I won't forget it.
I'm the baddest man alive.
So, what else happened that we could get to real quick before we take our first break here, Jay Bird?
Why are we getting off of your house being on fire? Because
it's not on fire, dude.
It's pretty freaking close, bro.
It's not.
You got Lori up on a roof spraying it down with water.
That's what Lori does, man. Yeah. Lori B is actually good on the roof. She's like Peter Piper. Little Peter Piper.
God, I wish she was listening. If she heard you say that, she'd slap you in the mouth. Peter Piper? A Peter Piper? She's a Peter Piper? She pipes the Peter?
That's not what I said.
That's what you said. You said
you guys are getting him in trouble.
she
now.
pipes the Peter.
Yeah, listen to Pops. Knock it off. Or I'll play
I
your
don't like it when he
Blanca
gets
Logan
you.
song.
That'll just get you in more trouble with Pops, bro. I don't care.
Why is it that all of my best parody songs have been banned from the show? It's ridiculous.
Because they suck.
Well, you really had to think about that one, didn't you?
Yeah, tell us how you really feel, Pops.
Oh, that's been on my mind a long time.
Well, you're going to love this one tonight.
You're going to love this one tonight.
Yeah, you're going to love it. Oh, she's in the chat room. We got time. All right. Kathy's in the chat room. Again, if you're listening to us on Spreaker.com.
I've made a special wager on how this will all turn out.
Oh, man. All right. Trucker.
Kathy, I'm just telling you, I had nothing to do with this. I have
Me too. Me three.
Me and Pops are both innocent, so...
All right, listen. This is all in good fun. All right? And this does not necessarily represent the beliefs of anyone on the Kevin Hawley Show. But it is full of parody, hyperbole. The show is comedy content. And hopefully you think this is funny. Trucker Kathy. Oh, man. I don't
What'd you say, 6 days, 6 days, Kathy?
Kathy, you just tell me to punch him in the mouth. I'll do it. I don't care.
No. She's got to do this.
All right, here we go.
She's got to punch him?
Yeah.
Along the
It'll be
lines.
worth the wait. Serious.
No,
next week.
I'll punch him in the nuts. Then.
Think of what it'll do to the ratings to the show. It'll be great.
All right, here we go. This is a song for Trucker Kathy called... I haven't really named it yet.
But yeah, you did.
Let her name it.
Well, let her name it. Oh, my God. All right. It's along the lines of Bruno Mars. That's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. Right? Here we go.
Play the song, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
All right. If you guys will shut up. Here we go. Got a truck stop in Manhattan. Kathy girl, what's happening? Your favorite podcast invited, so go on, get to listening. No, Pops is not a pimp. No, Pops is not a pimp. Drive around your pimp. Drive it for me. She rents a small house in Newport Richie. She gets up super bitchy, carpet munching on her dinner. Her girlfriend wears no panties. Jay, you got it, she don't want it. Jay's got it, she don't want it. Jay Brooks got it, she don't want it. She wears a chain wallet in her pocket. Jump in the tractor, rig. Kathy drives for miles in it. Anywhere she wants, puts vertical smiles in it. She will rape a lady, she will rape them all. She's not gonna give it to Jay. Gold microphone shining so bright. Jay Bird's vodka on ice. Unlucky fool, Trucker Kathy's a dyke. That girl's a dyke. Unlucky fool, Trucker Kathy's a dyke. That girl's a dyke. Sex with ladies all night. Silk sheets, sleeper cab. Alright. Unlucky fool, Trucker Kathy's a dyke. That girl's a dyke. Unlucky fool, Trucker Kathy's a dyke. That girl's a dyke. She driving trucks to San Francisco. Banging girls where she go. She won't be your chica, but she listens to the Kevin Holly Show. She will never meet a bush that she won't eat. A promise that you smile, ain't never gonna leave. Licking titties in Paris. Pussy hat, she'll wear it. Got 9 rearview mirrors. Smell a finger, who's the fairest? Is it you? Is it you? Is it Jay? Is it Jay? It's gay butts. It's gay butts. We agree, Trucker Kathy. Jump in the tractor rig. Kathy drives for miles in it. Anywhere she wants, puts vertical smiles in it. She will rape a lady. She will rape them all. She's not gonna give it to Jay. Gold microphone shining so bright. Jay Bird's vodka on ice. Unlucky fool, Trucker Kathy's a dyke. That girl's a dyke. Unlucky fool, Trucker Kathy's a dyke. That girl's a dyke. Say you cross state lines to get with all the ladies. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Tell me what's on your mind. If you want a girl, gonna hit it. Lesbians for you. Tell me, Kathy, Trucker Kathy, what you trying to do? Gold microphone shining so bright. Jay Bird's vodka on ice. She's not happy in the chat room.
Of course not. How the fuck would you be happy?
Fool, Trucker Kathy's a dyke. That girl's a dyke.
She's not a dyke.
Sex with ladies all night.
Kevin's like,
sleeper
you just don't understand, dude.
Unlucky.
Are you gonna kick him in the nuts?
That girl's a dyke.
Is she gonna kick him in the nuts?
No, I'm gonna punch him in the dick before we leave, man.
Well, beside what you're gonna do to him, which I never even factored that in. My bad, Kevin. What I want to know what she's gonna do to him, so we can stay tuned for next week.
I'd say she'd burn his house down, but his grass is too freaking brown to catch on fire.
Yeah, and you just wouldn't know.
There's no grass even there anymore. Wow, Kev, how do you alienate everybody around you so bad, dude?
Well, I beta tested it, and I ran it by a couple of people, and everybody said she would like it. But apparently, she's like, I don't like this.
Wait. She's not happy. You beta tested this, and somebody said she would like it?
Pat, you actually... Uh-oh.
Excuse me?
Hold on a second. Oh, this is going to be bad.
I did what?
Kevin Holly Show. Hi, Kathy.
That is not fucking cool, yo.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's not live.
Not fucking cool.
Now you know how I feel, Kathy.
I was told by many people that would be funny.
A lot of drivers I know that know me, I got to listen to your show. My co-drivers and people at my job listen to your show.
Well, now you're like a celebrity.
And Now
you're like a celebrity.
Yeah, no,
Shovel
because that shit
Kevin.
would be going around a lot. I'm strictly dickly. I don't do no fucking chicks. There ain't no fucking way.
Not even in a threesome?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just double checking there.
It's okay then, because they're obviously still listening and they realize that you're not, Plus, they don't know who you are totally. I mean, it might be a couple of people that you have listening to the shows, friends, or whatever.
Kathy, he's made songs about me being gay, and I can't brush my own teeth without throwing up. So, I believe me.
Yeah, but you got to look. But you got to look at the industry I am in, and females do get a bad rep in that aspect.
Well, maybe now you can turn it all around.
I fucking ain't no goddamn like. Yeah, no. No.
If it's any consolation, I did mow your lawn.
After you hear the song the 13th
Oh,
time.
you did? Oh, I was gonna have the long guy come out
After you
when
hear
I
it the
got home.
13th time, you'll know why I got pissed off.
But yeah, but mowing my lawn ain't gonna make up for this.
Well, I mean, it's close though. I mean, I'm sorry, Kathy. I didn't mean to trigger you. I'm sorry.
Hey, Kathy.
Yeah. If you would have told
Who would
Lori
have
about
ever
that,
thought
she
that
would have
would
told you
trigger?
not to do it because she knows it would have pissed me off.
I'll punch him in the nuts for you, I promise.
In fact, the driver sitting in front of me drives for my company. He just asked me how to listen in onto the show.
So he didn't hear it. Yeah.
Tell him how he can hear the
I hope
reruns.
not.
Kathy, I promise you I will punch him in the nuts for you tonight.
Yeah, don't forget your magnifying glass so you can find it first.
Hey, just aim for the chip, right? What?
Kevin, how did you think that would be funny?
And
just
Jaybird,
making
you have
fun
to
of
get on
one of
your
our...
knees so you can reach because you
That's nothing new for Jay.
have to get on your knees so you can reach.
Hey, Glick's in the chat room, and he says that from now on we have to run all of our terrible ideas by him.
Well, it wouldn't do any good. You ran it by me, and I said, "Oh, that's a hugely bad idea."
Pat said it was hilarious.
I
And
said,
that you would love it.
I said, however long it's going to take her to get back to the state of Florida and beat the shit out of you is going to be exactly. I mean, how do you take
If I
that
had a
any
plow
other
on
way,
the front
Kevin?
of my truck, hey, if I didn't have to deliver McDonald's French fries to this company, I'd be on the fucking road right now.
I was right.
Kathy, I hope you accept my apology. I was just trying to be funny. I failed again.
I do.
All of your efforts just go to waste, man.
You hear it 12 more times, you won't apologize.
No, that's not going to happen. I mean, they don't.
I mean, it is kind of funny, but yeah, I'm just not into chicks, and you need to make sure you stress that out there.
I will preempt. I will edit that in. Yes.
You know he's going to play it again, though, during the break, right?
No, I'm not. It's not in the break.
I know he is.
I won't. I promise. I won't. Unless I have your blessing. Like, if nobody bothers you after tonight, tomorrow, or whatever, and nobody mentions it, or if they mention it and you're a fucking rock star because of it, then maybe I'll play it again.
But I'm not in Florida yet. 5 people from Florida listen to this and works for my company.
All right. Well,
Just tell them you don't ever want to hear it again, and lots of luck.
Hey, that could deter 2 guys to stop bothering me.
There you go. There you go. All right. I hit the 2 wrong buttons on that one, but... All right, Kathy, we're going to...
I think the initial shock's wearing off. It might be okay now.
I'm hoping so, yeah. I really didn't mean to piss her off.
Because it is going to probably be on the play roll every week.
No, of course not, dude. We have a new show.
Every week.
No way. No, nobody listens to our show, dude. Come on. No. Don't worry, Kathy. You're fine. Everything's cool.
Hey, I got truckers out here in California listening to you.
Sweet. Are they Dodger fans?
I don't know.
All right, we'll find out. I like the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Have them bring back some
All right.
Dodger
9 chances out of 10 they are.
Kathy, we're going to let you go up against a hard break. We've got a guest in the second hour, Fletcher Long. He's going to be fantastic. Tune in, listen in, and I promise not to play that song again.
Yeah.
I got a quiz. I got a quiz you can take part of.
Yeah, Pops has a quiz coming
up. You can play it, but you got to put in there that,
Kathy's got a bike.
Kathy's got a bike. She's got a bike. That's cool. Yeah.
There you go.
That's what it was. What are you talking about? All right, Kathy. Sorry about that. We'll talk to you soon. All right, kids?
Love you, Kathy.
Love you too, guys.
Bye.
I'm going to go check in with the customer and get back on to live chat.
All right, sweet. All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Damn,
Wow,
man. That
Kev,
was a really close bullet I dodged on that one, dude. And there's still repercussions.
Just know how to freaking wait.
That said that was a good idea.
My mom thought it was awesome. What are you talking about?
She did
No,
not.
she didn't.
You never played
Your
that
mom,
shit about
no,
Holy
no,
shit,
no.
he just just lied out his fucking ass right there.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I'm sorry.
Your mom would have freaking bust your head for that.
Who the fuck did you play that
Yeah.
kid that said, that sounds like a great idea?
Yeah.
Right?
There's no way.
No way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back with more
We're on the radio?
of the Kevin Holly Show. Wow, Pat, really? Wow. We'll be right back.
This is London, and you are listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
We in the Bay, that's where I reside. My coconut shack in the back of the Berg, up in the cocoa, gone off whatever I got. I'm comfy in my spot, drinking and smoking and writing rhymes in the Bay. See, I'm from California, out in the East Bay, where we grow pody ropey, over where we stay. Call it Killer Cali, potency strawberry. There's no releasing morsels, kick me some dubbery. And drink some 40 water like it was 93. The corner store, my friend, evidently. My white tea smelling like black and mild smoke. Cigarettes and bomb, there ain't much hope. But see, I need my vices to cope, nigga. Roll with block living in the town, so critical. It's so hot with no sun, what the hell is going on? Explanation you can tell. In the Bay, that's where I reside. My coconut shack in the back of the Berg, up in the cocoa, gone off whatever I got. I'm comfy in my spot, drinking and smoking and writing rhymes in the Bay. That's where I reside. My coconut shack in the back of the Berg, up in the cocoa, gone off whatever I got. I'm comfy in my spot, drinking and smoking and writing rhymes. This atmospheric pressure is pushing on my dome, cause everywhere I turn, chickadees in need of bone. Well, why not give it to them? Cause some don't qualify, but the ones that do get bamboo in a loving ride, like a 9.5. Booty Nui, Susu Perkin, body banging, lips juicy like they used to working. Any campinata, white or black or island passion, Latina, Indian to Asian, over here we smashing. Then speak that freaky tales like short in the day, and illustrate them in my rhyme so you can picture the way we get down over here, from Cocoa to Skull Valley, Joe to San Ho, nickel dime, you know. We in the Bay, that's where I reside. My coconut shack in the back of the Berg, up in the cocoa, gone off whatever I got. I'm comfy in my spot, drinking and smoking and writing rhymes in the Bay. That's where I reside. My coconut shack in the back of the Berg, up in the cocoa, gone off whatever I got. I'm comfy in my spot, drinking and smoking and writing rhymes. See, I got back from the islands in that state of mind. Got caught slipping on the soil with no heat of mine, but felt a 9 to my dome. Fool, what you got? I'm back in Cali now. Damn, I forgot that it's gunplay. We play for keeps. So cold when funk is deep. Not enough Indians and way too many damn chiefs. Fist fights and turf war, hoe slaps and much more. 4-4s and 4-5s busting through your front door. Baking invasions if you pushing that weight. Somewhere along the line you made a mistake, but that's damn near everywhere you go. I'm just telling you my story so you know. We in the Bay, that's where I reside. My coconut shack in the back of the Berg, up in the cocoa, gone off whatever I got. I'm comfy in my spot, drinking and smoking and writing rhymes in the Bay. That's where I reside. My coconut shack in the back of the Berg, up in the cocoa, gone off whatever I got. I'm comfy in my spot, drinking and smoking and writing rhymes.
More news, more talk, more fat girls. It's the Kevin Holly Show.
Boyfriend, you come around to feel the pain. It was yesterday he tried to use you, but you still go through it again. You took it away. Again, you let yourself stay.
It's worse than throwing cats in the river.
It's the Kevin Holly Show on the IRN Internet Radio Network.
You're strapping on to the Kevin Holly Show, where Kevin himself is grayer than 50 Shades.
I shot the zombie, but I did not shoot the little boy. I shot Harambe, but I did not shoot the little boy. Harambe come to Cincinnati Zoo to live his life out on display. That little boy was found not guilty for the killing of Harambe. For the killing of Harambe. But I say, shot Harambe, but I swear it was for self-defense. I shot Harambe, 'cause a little boy climbed over the fence. That's where I gotta stop. Because that's where... Wait.
Because you ever have an itch that wouldn't go away? Kind of like Kevin.
No, but nowadays it just seems so theatrical and so much. It's almost like these guys get all dialed up and it's like, I'm gonna wrestle with you because I find you attractive.
Wow, Chuck,
really?
Wow, dude.
That's not the case, is it?
No, that is not the case whatsoever.
You've got a new fan in me, so I just got to know, like, are you looked at as like a guy or a bad guy?
I try to do the right thing. I guess the best way to say that. I mean,
the people hate you though.
No.
No? So hey, listen, dude. How'd you come by the name Blanco Loco, if you don't mind me asking? Blanco, we're trying to take this to the next step right here, and I was wondering if we put something together where we video recorded this, okay, and let it get slipped out. I mean, you might have a good lawsuit.
Yeah, that's
We'll take the show to a new level. I mean, his physique is great. I can't see his face, but if he wears
Kevin,
a mask,
you're gonna let him
I mean,
continue with his jazz.
I'm just gonna let him run out of air. I guess.
I don't think Mrs. Loco would appreciate that very much.
Oh, there's a Mrs. Loco.
There's a Mrs. Loco.
All right.
Jay loves wrestling federations, lucha libre masks, boots, and all. He feels a premonition that's scheduled for one fall. Jay's into new positions. He likes dicks in the candlelight. He's got a new addiction for every Thursday night. He wants to take Loco's mask off and go dancing in the rain. He wants a white and crazy life to take away his pain. Jay's always pulling on his brain. Jay Bird's coming out, dreaming of Blanco Loco. He'll pull his pants all the way down, dreaming of Blanco Loco. His dick is devil red, Jay's skin's a color rojo. Jay is coming out, dreaming of Blanco Loco. Come on, dreaming of Blanco Loco. Come on, Jay's living la vida homo. Jay woke up in a Newport Richie, in a funky cheap motel. Jay came out and spent his money, tried to learn some wrestling skills, but he never drinks no water, only vodka and champagne. Once Jay had a taste of it, he's never been the same. Yeah, he'll show you his little brain. Jay Bird's coming out, dreaming of Blanco Loco. He will pull his pants down, dreaming of Blanco Loco. His dick is devil red, his skin the color rojo. Jay is coming out, dreaming of Blanco Loco. Dreaming of Blanco Loco. Jay's living la vida homo. He wants to take Loco's mask off and go dancing in the rain. He wants a white and crazy life to take away his pain. Yeah, Jay's always pulling on his brain. Jay Bird's coming out, dreaming of Blanco Loco. He'll pull his pants all the way down, dreaming of Blanco Loco. His dick is devil red, Jay's skin the color mojo. He will blow with la vida homo. Jay Bird's coming out, he's dreaming of Blanco Loco. He'll pull his pants all the way down, dreaming of Blanco Loco. Living la vida homo, skin's the color rojo. Jay will wear you out, living la vida homo. Living la vida homo. He's dreaming of Blanco Loco. Blanco Loco. He's dreaming of Blanco Loco. Jay's dreaming of Blanco Loco. Suck it, Jay. Ugh.
It's 3 in the morning. She said, will you come with me and run away? I said, baby, okay. So we packed our bags and we set out on the open highway. It doesn't matter if we're wrong or right, as long as you were right next to me tonight. It doesn't matter if we're lost or found, I know exactly what you're saying without making a sound. And it goes on. Won't you be mine? Won't you be my ecstasy, my energy? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my remedy, my everything? Come on, baby, let's go. Let's hit the open road and show them all that this is how it's meant to be. That you and I together is our destiny, especially when it's jealousy attacking at our chemistry. That use it as their weaponry. And thankfully, I found the recipe to put an end to the unpleasantry. I've steadily become a specialty to love you endlessly. Let's strive until we reach the point of heavenly, where our only enemy is our own negativity. Won't you be mine? Won't you be my ecstasy, my energy? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my remedy, my everything? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my ecstasy, my energy? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my remedy, my Won't you be mine? Won't you be my ecstasy, my energy? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my remedy, my everything?
This radio person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
Got a pirate radio station. Nobody knows who he is.
You out there? You listening?
Welcome back to the Kevin Holly Show, everybody. It is the second hour. If you're listening on Spreaker.com, take advantage of the chat room. Those are our elite listeners. We will interact with you. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome, IRN listeners. Hopefully you can hear us out there. And the second hour is tuned up for a lot of fun. We have a special guest calling in sometime here in the second hour. His name is Fletcher Long. He's an author, a radio host, and a former criminal defense attorney of 18 years. So we're going to talk to Mr. Fletcher Long about his book and his life experiences.
So, Kevin, like, if he becomes a longtime listener and follows us every week, are you going to make a parody song ragging on him? Is that what our guests get?
I don't think I've ever done that for a guest. If he's a listener, maybe.
Or a listener, or if he's so if he listens every week, that's his reward. He gets a song talking about how he's gay or something.
No, I would never do that to a guest.
A guest.
What's
Kathy's been a guest.
What's Kathy if she's not
Yeah.
a guest?
Kathy's
How come you haven't
a friend?
How come you haven't ever fagged out Glick?
Oh, he's next. He knows he's on the chopping block. Are you kidding
He's
me?
on the block?
Oh, he's so next, man. I've been saving up for a good one. I haven't gotten something that I think is raunchy enough for Glick yet.
Pops is going to kill you if you do that. You realize it. So where are we on? What did we follow today?
We followed the Lionel Nation show.
You think anybody's following us after that?
Absolutely.
We get some pick up on that?
Probably a lot of truck drivers.
There's some Lionel listeners out there?
I would assume so, yes.
Well, then I think we should maybe talk a little bit about politics and about the fact that...
That's so good timing, Jaybird.
Is it?
Oh, my God, it is.
Are we getting in this, like, some sync?
I think we are.
And
We're
why
back
do you
to
have
old
the LA
times.
Dodgers hat on?
To trigger you, man. Put it back on. So... Huh? You all right?
But it's for me.
What do you point at there, Pops?
What do you want, Pops?
He's looking for his drink.
You want me to see that? This?
No, the
No,
paperwork.
This? Oh, no.
No, the fan is blowing it. He's not rustling
No,
it
no,
at you. Yeah.
everything. The paper, he put the paper out there, and I thought he was giving me a note. You know, I don't know.
You're used to getting notes passed you
You
from other
love
dudes?
me, yes or no?
Check
Circle.
box.
Check yes or no.
Anyway, Jay, can you do that to techno music?
Check yes or no. Do you love me? Do you want to be my girl? If so, check yes or no.
Wow,
My
that's hot.
karaoke episodes are awesome.
Glick says he's done nothing about me because he knows I will bury him. All right, so if you follow us on Facebook or on Twitter, you may have seen a post earlier this morning that we were going to have Robert Duchemin on once again. Attorney of the Stars, he was on last week. Fantastic guest. Unfortunately, he was drowned out a little bit by one of our co-hosts here that's not here tonight. Chuck, excuse me.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No. And
I had a delightful conversation with the gentleman.
I agree with that. Actually, it was quite enjoyable.
I wanted to finish that.
Check out episode 89 with Robert Duchemin in the first hour, right off the bat too, at like 8:15.
That was a good conversation. I'm sorry for interrupting.
One of my favorite things about if you had your headphones on, by the way, that would help. I'm just throwing that out there.
Do I
you know.
actually have to listen to the show?
Well, you know, that way you can hear the parody I made for you.
Oh God! How did you disrespect me?
Oh man, I want to get into that like right now, dude. I really do.
No.
Anyway, Robert Duchemin has really cool Facebook posts, like about news updates and politics and things like that. And I like to read them, comment on them, like them, share them, things like that. And he's very, very good. He's got a lot of insight. And so since he didn't have the opportunity to call on the show tonight because he's got laryngitis, he did text me at 7:05 this morning saying that he had been up all night choking and coughing. I'm wondering if that was because of the wildfires. I know he lives, I think out in like Polk County or Winter Haven or something like that. So I don't know, somewhere in the middle of the state. And I know there's fires burning all over Florida. So anyway, I did happen to bring up one of his posts, and I'm going to read it. It's the presidential transition update. And here it goes. For about 2 years, top U.S. Army generals, Jaybird, you said politics. Top U.S. Army generals told the last administration that the Syrian Democratic Forces, which the USA was publicly backing, was the only army in Syria with the ability to oust ISIS and secure Raqqa. President Obama, however, did not want to directly arm them because they are primarily Kurdish fighters, which his buddies in Turkey despise. So Turkey repaid Obama for selling out our best ally in Syria by electing an anti-American president and recently giving him unsurpassed dictatorial powers, which he has been using to attack all American interests. Lucky for us, the president has decided to stand by our friends and announced this week that the U.S. will be supplying arms to his formidable Syrian opposition force.
Nice.
So, President Trump is basically returning to a 250-year-old USA policy abandoned over the last 8 years of helping our friends instead of our enemies. Very insightful post. Then it gets funny.
I agree with every bit of it, too.
And that's what I like about Mr. Duchemin. This is one of my favorite ones, though, of the last couple of days. The highlight in the news this week will be the firing of FBI Director Comey. The MSM, mainstream media, is focused on the unsupported claim that Trump fired him because he was investigating Trump. In reality, he was fired because President Trump was relying on the real facts, which were outlined in an extensive report by the Deputy Attorney General, who was confirmed 2 weeks ago by the Senate on a vote of 94-6. Imagine what the MSN would have done to Trump if he ignored this report and kept Comey, especially after Hillary's comments last week. A few of the facts are: 1, Hillary was responsible for top-secret information that ended up on unsecured computers, a felony for which many servicemen are prosecuted every year. 2, the career FBI agents in charge of the case believed they had sufficient information to recommend prosecution. And 3, Comey politicized the process instead of supporting his agents and sending the case to the Attorney General without any public comment. And finally, 4, after Obama's Attorney General secretly met with Bill Clinton, Comey became much more concerned with politics than justice, so Comey offended too many FBI agents in his refusal to go after Hillary that he lost the ability to properly lead them. Do not forget the most important fact. On July 5th, 2016, in his own words, Comey listed undisputed facts that support convictions.
Gross negligence.
Under at least 4 separate criminal statutes, yet closed the case on Hillary. So he also dropped the pay-to-play investigation. All he had to do was follow the bibliography in Clinton cache, and he would have been able to come up with sufficient evidence for the Department of Justice to prosecute both of the Clintons. In short, it would be impossible to drain the swamp without removing Comey.
I would add, can I?
Absolutely.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Can I add one more to that?
Go ahead.
And that is a big one, like with what they were doing with Flynn this week. All they could say was how he, by the Russians having that information on him, potentially he could be blackmailed. Well, the only information they had on him was that he did have a conversation probably saying how stupid Obama was and how we weren't going to do what Obama said we were going to do, right? Just he did that off base. Now, if they say that jeopardizes national security by having that leverage over him, they've got all of Hillary Clinton's emails, a lot of it with top secret stuff on it. You don't think that that's potential leverage that someone could use? Against a president? So if they have an issue with that, I would put that above everything else on that list you just read.
Well, here's the biggest thing about Flynn, though, too. It wasn't so much of the conversations that he had. It was the fact that he lied about it, supposedly, to Mike Pence and made Mike Pence look like an ass. But what did what did Trump do? Trump stood up and said, hey, you're going to have to resign. You know, I mean, if Trump was a corrupt president, it would have been so easy for him to stand behind Flynn and, backpedal it out of there, do whatever. But Trump doesn't do that. If he has issues with Comey, like he has had, like everybody had, like the Democrats had, if you go to October 27th, October 28th, every Democrat in our government was calling for the firing of Comey.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, Flynn, somebody needed to call and tell the Russians, because I think it was completely inappropriate for Obama to do what he did in the last week or two of his administration.
Absolutely.
So
No
I think
proof
that
or
somebody, and Trump said the same thing. Yeah, he didn't have a problem if he did call. Many people would, but he didn't have a problem if he did call. What he did was he didn't tell the vice president, but that's, people do that to protect the vice president, plausible deniability.
Absolutely.
So that happens all the time in our government. And I would also add, hey, maybe he was running an op. Has anyone ever thought about that? What if they were trying to get, like, high-level Russian people and they were trying to do, like, a CIA-type op, right? Using someone like Flynn to turn or something, right? Yeah. Let's not rule anything out that these people could do. If that was the case, and things like this happen, it would have been ruined by what the Attorney General, when she came out and exposed it. So that's why you would never say that, because there could have been reasons that they were doing this which were completely in the interest of our national security.
The fact that they're saying blackmail could have been an option is ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because I don't think there was anything, nobody can prove anything was said between him and them that
and we already knew.
Would justify an option of blackmail.
We already knew.
But having said that, the real problem here is, where was the leak on Mike Flynn? Because this should not have been leaked. That is a bigger...
absolutely not.
That's a bigger penalty when you get right down to it than the actual what he did. And people aren't talking about that, man. They're not.
On top of that, they mentioned not only about his conversations, they said that some of his conversations that were interrupted were encrypted conversations. So that actually told anybody in the intelligence community that we have the ability to listen to encrypted phone calls. How's that for damaging national security?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, on every freaking level. That's
Whoa, hey, let's go ahead and take our phone call here. This must be Mr. Fletcher Long. How the heck are you, man?
Kevin, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very, very well, sir. Thank you for calling the show.
Nice grammar. I love it. Doing well. Love it. Nice. That's nice use of the adverb.
Well, don't get used to it, sir.
His sister's editing my book.
Yeah. Well, you are live in studio with Jaybird, Pops, and Pat Berge, and myself, of course. And welcome to the Kevin Holly Show. My man, ladies and gentlemen, Fletcher Long, author, radio host, and previous criminal defense attorney of, about 18, 20 years, right?
Well, 18 years, yeah.
Now,
yeah, I did it for 18 years.
Before we get into, I know you've got a book that we want to talk about, of course, and I'm kind of curious about your radio show as well. I haven't heard it. I tried to listen to it today, and I had a weak internet connection where I was at the time, so I haven't had a chance to do that. But being a criminal defense attorney for almost 2 decades, did you ever take anything to trial that was maybe popular in the media or anything like that?
Never.
No high-profile cases?
Well, no. I had lots of. I thought you meant by popular, like well-liked. I tried 4 cases for a guy called the Wooded Rapist. I was the defense attorney in the March murder trial that was nationally and internationally covered. I was the lawyer in the Vandy rape trial. That I got a lot of friends that way. No, I mean nothing I ever did was popular in that it never made me well liked. But yes, I had lots of cases that were covered in both national and international press. In fact, when I was arrested, it ran across the AP wire.
Well, why were you arrested, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I was indicted by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation for extortion and convicted. It was the second time that I was indicted. I won the first indictment, and that put me into radio.
Wow. Okay, that's an interesting story. Holy crap! We went from murder to an indictment of a lawyer, and then turned a radio host.
Well, anybody that's ever practiced law for any time will tell you that if you say things that are unpopular, which is pretty much anything that's critical of the government, they will take you out. It's whistleblower 101. It's one of their first methods of operating.
I'm a victim of the swamp myself.
Yeah, Pat Berge is the private first class PFC 40. He's the one of the first 40-year-old privates to pass boot camp at Fort Bennington. And
Fort Bennington.
Yeah,
the comedy club over in.
Yeah, I've been there. They had a great set. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Pat's he's a whistleblower himself and is dealing with it.
Do you know the 3 biggest lies in the world?
My pickup truck's paid for. I didn't know she was my sister, and I was pushing the sheep through the fence.
I like those. That's pretty good. Try mine.
Did I get it?
Yeah, that's pretty good, but try mine.
All right.
Check is in the mail. I'm from the government. I'm here to help you. Promise I won't come in your mouth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Number 2 being the biggest among those 3. That is
10-4.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really what my book is about. It's entitled "For What It's Worth," the long version. I tried over 200 criminal jury trials to verdict when I was a lawyer, so I had a very active trial practice. And basically, I'm going to tell you just how poorly we're doing it today, and suggest to you how it can be fixed. And the interesting thing, Kevin, is the way to fix the justice system is by using the power that our forefathers intended for us to use in the first place, and that's, the Constitution.
Yeah, agreed. I've got a copy of the Declaration of Independence in our studio right now.
Well, when they said that that there are certain inalienable rights, that all men are created equal, that are endowed by their Creator, that was they were really only talking to the white men. But that's okay. because it's come to mean all of us. It
Yeah.
continues to be a promise that we're capable of accepting.
I agree with you 100% on that. And it's refreshing that you say that because, there's so many things that are popular in the news nowadays that speak the exact opposite of the Constitution or abuse it. So yeah, that's refreshing to hear somebody that's spent so much time in litigation actually speak of the Constitution right off the rip like that. So thank you for that. Kudos to you. So let's get back to a little bit of murder real quick, if you don't mind. Out of those cases that you mentioned, which one do you think was the highest profile? A lot of our listeners are into that true crime stuff.
Yeah.
Is there one that really stood out for you?
I was told one time by the leading investigative journalist in Nashville, a guy named Nick Barris at Channel 5, it's the CBS affiliate, that the 5 biggest trials he ever covered in his career, 4 of them were tried by me.
Wow.
And one of them, it's hard to say because the Vanderbilt rape case, I don't know if you followed it, but it was covered all over the news. They did a story on it on 48 Hours that I was promptly featured in that story.
Cool.
This was the one that I got mistried because the juror lied to get on the jury, and I busted him after trial and got a mistrial. And then he got retried and convicted. But the Janet Levine March, Dominic Dunn did a show on that was one of his top 10 shows of the year. May he rest in peace. Called Through the Pouring Rain, and it was the subject of 5 books, one of which was written by a woman in New York that must have been in love with me because I was over half the book, and I'm not sure I was that big a part of the case. But so it's hard to say. One of those 2, I would say.
Okay, cool. Now, the name of your radio show, The Long Version, and the name of your book is the same as well, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, now, you touched on how you got into radio. How can people find your book? I know it's on Amazon, and how do we listen to your radio show?
Well, my radio show's on Village Connection Talk Radio, and if you'll put in The Long Version, Village Connection Talk Radio, it'll take you straight to my show page. And I have archives, Kevin, you'll be glad to know.
Cool.
That the show you missed today was a good one. I had on a woman whose brother and father were murdered by the Dixie Mafia. Now, if you've ever watched the movie Walking Tall, that's the same people that killed Buford Pusser's wife.
Nice.
Was the Dixie Mafia. But anyway, that pretty interesting subject content, I would say. I'm actually having Jennifer Runyon Corman on Friday, and she was the real pretty blonde in Ghostbusters that Bill Murray kept allowing to win the psychiatric electric test.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and she also ended up playing the girlfriend of Scott Baio in Charles in Charge, but I'm having her on Friday. I've interviewed Jack O'Halloran twice, which is a very interesting interview. He is a made member of the Gambino crime family by his own admission and the son of Albert Anastasia.
Wow.
And also played in Superman's 1 and 2 as the mute Non, one of the villains from Krypton. Also was played in Farewell My Lovely with Robert Mitchum. And you may say, well, Long, how do you get all these guests? Well, because I have street cred. See, I was a criminal defense attorney, and if I call up a mobster, I've interviewed George Christie, one of the former spokesmen for the Hells Angels motorcycle group.
Wow.
And I can get these type interviews because I'm Fletcher Long. They'll talk to me if I ask them to. And
a man of confidence, Fletcher Long. Everybody, that is fantastic.
You can look me up. I'm anything other than unknown.
There you go.
Now, am I an asshole? Yeah, probably.
You're in good company.
Am I a villain? Well, a lot of government agencies would say I am.
You're still in good company.
But but I can write and I know how to tell a story.
So speaking of writing and telling a story, I did brush up a little bit on your book. I know it's available on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I also noticed something along the lines, and I'm not going to read the description off of Amazon. I'm going to let people figure that out for themselves and check out the book. But it says something about the truth always being found in the long version. What do you mean by that?
Well, there's an ugly truth out there. There's certain truths, right? Number one, people, 47% of our present prison population are black males. That's not because being a black male makes you more likely to be a criminal.
No.
It's because the police are more likely to investigate and charge and convict you if you're a black male. It's just like right now in America, the United States of America, which is 4.4% of the world's population of 7.2 billion people, comprises 1 in 4 of its incarcerated population. That's not because we're the most criminally bent society in the history of the world. It's not because we're bigger criminals than any third world country on the planet.
No way.
It's because we lock up people that would not face incarceration any other time in our planet's history. So these are truths that the national mainstream media are not going to tell you. Yeah. Nobody's going to tell you, hey, look, they're going after black people because they're black. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that, the cops arrive at a crime scene with the answer, with the problem already worked. They don't arrive at the crime scene wondering who done it. They arrive at the crime scene with a target, and they go there to accumulate the evidence that they believe will validate the conclusion at which they've already arrived. But these are truths, that you will get in the long version, in the book, or on the radio show. The book came about because I wrote blogs after I had people on, right? And so somebody took my blogs and said, hey, you need to publish these. And so I said, all right, well, then why don't you do it? And they did it.
So they assembled a book, basically.
Right. It's a book, but what's nice about it, Kevin, is you don't have to read them in order.
Oh,
you really can read them in any order you wish, because they're 53, and you say, well, why 53? Well, we were going to do one a week for 52 weeks, and I made them put Jesus wasn't a billionaire. That's the last one. It's the bonus in the back, the chapter Jesus wasn't a billionaire.
The hidden track, if you will.
Which, by the way, he was not. And we seem to have a president that attenuates a great deal of importance to the amount of material success that you accrue, right? I mean, if you've never run a $10 billion real estate empire, you have no business telling him a damn thing. Well, Jesus didn't run a $10 billion real estate empire, and he told a lot of people a lot of things that people maybe should heed. So that one's in there. But I think the book is timeless. So it's not really dependent on what's going on at the time. And I think it's a wonderful read. It's been reviewed very well. If you read the reviews on Amazon Prime, it's been reviewed well.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's selling well, and people like Kevin Holly are the right audience for this book, because you're smart. You're smart enough to get it. So
thank you. I appreciate that. Don't want to set the bar too high. I'm all about low expectations, Fletcher.
And he's not in jail.
Well, it's too bad, Kevin. I've looked into you. I know what a genius you are. So
thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. Hey, Pops is an 82-year-old Korean War veteran. I'm sorry, 83-year-old Korean War veteran. He's in studio with us. He's got a question for you, Fletch. Go ahead, Pops.
All right, shoot.
Well, it's not a question. Maybe it is a question, but it's an observation. I've had quite a bit of experience in the black community as a provider of homes, as a tool salesman, and just as a friend. And I was involved back when Kennedy became president. The old-timers all took down Abraham Lincoln's and put up Kennedy's picture, which was as big a joke as Lincoln being their hero. As it was Johnson that signed all the good welfare shit. But anyhow,
the good welfare
don't you think that maybe because when they all started voting for the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party was secure in their vote, Donald Trump brought out the point real good, I thought, this year, that the black community has got nothing in return for their vote. And if you look at the black community, these young kids growing up, the opportunity that they've got, or that your kid or my kid, you got to say that they have a limited comparison of opportunity.
They did get higher incarceration rates. I mean, come on, we got them.
Well, they're much more. Let me tell you this. Government housing projects in the black community and today's prisons were yesterday's plantations.
Yeah.
And they've been put there by Democrats largely.
Yeah, right.
The great emancipators have also been the great enslavers.
Right on.
And a lot of what Trump represents or represented an American revolution that the Constitution actually countenanced. It's called the election box. Every 4 years or so many years, 2 years, 6 years, if you're a senator, we have an ability to overthrow our government. And you just saw a governmental overthrow. Is what you saw when Trump got elected.
Yeah.
That is entirely not just Democratic but American. But what concerns me, Pops, is we tend to want to silence the critic. It seems to me like when people want to complain about the government in a peaceful way, as the Constitution permits, they meet into consequences that our founders never intended for the dissident.
Yeah.
Thomas Paine would be in jail today.
Yeah.
He never would have gotten away with writing all that shit he wrote in Common Sense, because that would have pissed a lot of people off. See, they'd have gotten him.
It's not politically correct.
Right. And Pops, you're a veteran, and you laid your life on the line for the principle that a person in America could burn a draft card, it had the freedom to do that without fear of governmental reprisal. He may have reprisal, he may have consequence, but it's not supposed to be a governmental reprisal or a governmental consequence.
Yeah, that's true. And when I look at the draft cards that should have been burned, it's pathetic.
Well, Pops, I'll tell you this story. I'll tell you this story, Pops, and I appreciate you so much. But let me tell you this. We were sitting around. I coached football at Hopkinsville High School, and we're sitting around. I'm multifaceted. We're sitting around the blockhouse, and we're talking about what are we going to do if a player kneels down during the national anthem. Well, the only person in the blockhouse that didn't want to kick every single person who kneels during the national anthem off the team was the only one of us who had served in the military.
Wow, that's ironic.
The one guy in the room that had been a Marine said, "You know what, guys? I went to war, laid my life on the line, so a young youth, should he choose, could be free to kneel if they wanted to during the national anthem. And I don't think you should do anything to them." Yeah. And the only guy with me, the rest of us, well, hang on, kill him, the only guy in the room that didn't feel that way was the only guy who you would have thought would feel that way.
Well, that's a true patriot right there, I suppose. Somebody that's believing in what he fought for, at the very least.
Well, I wasn't going to argue with him. I didn't feel like I had the right.
I think if you believe in what you fought for, you're confused because you really don't know, and that's pathetic. But more so than anything is you realize that, as Smedley Butler wrote in his book "War is a Racket," it's all about big banks, big money, and it's not about freedom or freeing people or any of it. It's about a bureaucratic empire that we got troops in 140 countries for what? We need them like we need another asshole.
Yeah, you're talking about the book that was written by Major General Smedley Butler, right?
Yeah, twice he received 2 Purple Hearts. He was, well, you read all the battles that he was in, and after the end of the First World War, the troops that he saw them get killed, and saw the guys that had no legs, no arms, no faces. They were still waiting for their mustering out pay. 30 years. He died before the Second World War, but we need to take a whole new look. I mean, I voted for Trump, and I'm going to support the guy to the end, but he's a little bit too trigger happy for me, really.
Well, I'll tell you this, and Kevin, this will tell you what Major General Butler thought of war. Mm-hmm. The book had 5 chapters. War is a racket. Who makes the profits? Who pays the bills? How to smash this racket? And to hell with war.
Yes.
Chapters in the book. But I'm glad you brought up the Trump thing, because he just fired the FBI director James Comey.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, somebody called me up this morning, a friend of mine, and he said, "Can you believe that that Trump was stupid enough to put in the letter that I've talked to you on 3 occasions and you informed me I was not a target of your ongoing investigation?" And I said, I not only can believe it, but that's exactly what I would have told him to put.
Yeah.
He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, he who is silent also consents."
Right.
Yeah.
You put it in the letter, and if Kobe doesn't respond, then then I fired him, and I wasn't a target of the investigation. And if I'd have been a target, he a normal person would have said something.
Right.
If I'm Comey's lawyer, I say, "The following is our response. Dear Mr. Trump, I have no idea how you arrived at the conclusion that we're not a target."
Then sure you're going to admit it. I ain't going to admit it.
Yeah, you, sir, were the epicenter. You were the prime target of this investigation, and I reckon that's why you fired me.
Yeah.
Respectfully, James Comey.
That would be his wise move. Yeah,
that would be the smart move.
I don't think he's too wise. To tell you the truth.
You know why you fired me, because I was coming after you and you wanted to stop me, and you actually obstructed a federal investigation, which is a crime in and of itself.
Yeah.
Now, Fletcher, what do you think about the irony that Bernie Sanders, what was it, 11 months ago or 9 months ago, when asked if Comey should be fired, he said, "I think that would be a good idea. I would agree with that. That would be a good move on his part." And
they
now,
all did.
Yeah, they all did.
Maxine Waters, everybody did.
Well,
Clinton insulted him just a week ago.
It's called the juxtapositioning of time. 11 months ago, they were mad at him because he was impacting detrimentally the front runners in the Democratic Party's ability to get elected president. Now they love him because he was investigating Trump, or that was the rumor. So it's called the juxtapositioning of time.
Yeah.
Right on.
He's got that.
Well, you know what, Fletcher, we are coming up against our hardest break of the night, the end of the second hour here in just a few minutes. So we got you for a few more minutes if you're game. Are you good?
I'm good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are listening to Fletcher Long, and he is an author and also a radio host, and wrote a beautiful book called oh my God, I lost my train of thought.
For what it's worth, the long version.
Thank you. Available on Amazon. For what it's worth, the long version.
And Books A Million and Barnes and Noble.
Nice.
It's pretty much it's for sale on any online bookstore. You can buy it anywhere.
It's on Kindle as well, isn't it?
You can get it on Kindle. Yeah, you can get it on Kindle for like
$10.
$9.
Yeah.
I think it was $9, something like that.
What's it about? Just like a rough.
Well, it's my impression of the justice system and where it is run afoul, and why innocent people are getting convicted, and family court system, and there's some stuff in there. I have certain theological treatises. It's a collection of essays.
I think you would like to hear my story at some point. I think you'd find it quite interesting, actually. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I do. Fletch, if you want. I'm sorry if I call you Fletch and you don't like it.
Fletch is fine, baby. Awesome. Just go right ahead. I love it.
All right. That's two of my favorite movies of all time. I'm 41 years old.
I love it,
Kev. That's good. That's good stuff right there. But, check out Patrick Berge, pfc40book.com, at pfc40book. He's got an interesting story about being a whistleblower in the military-industrial complex, about fraud, waste, and abuse, and how it ties with him. He wrote a book as well, and it's how it kind of ties with him running for supervisor of elections in the county that we live in, and then working for a huge company like Dynology for 8 years in the Department of Defense, and his experiences with blowing a whistle on the higher-ups. It's an amazing story, so ladies and gentlemen, check out Patrick Berge. Fletch, I think you would like that. I really do. You guys probably have a lot in common.
Yeah, we do.
Am I right?
A lot of pain.
Oh, absolutely. And you need to check out a guy named Michael Volpe.
Okay.
Michael Volpe writes for Community Digital News, VOLPE, and he specifically writes about whistleblowers and the consequences which are visited upon them or occasioned upon them on whistleblowing.
Awesome. Excellent. Now, I have a couple of personal questions for you, if you don't mind. Jay, you look like you're chomping at the bit here.
Well, yeah, I wanted to see, can we follow you on Facebook, and where do we listen to your show on?
Again, yeah.
The show can be heard on Village Connection Talk Radio out of Long Island, New York. And yes, you can follow me on Facebook. I'm just Fletcher Long on Facebook. And on Twitter, at Long Version Show. It's important to follow me on Twitter because, hey, I need the numbers. And two, that's where I tweet out show information, guests, and the like. So
very nice. Awesome. So a couple of personal questions, if you have a minute, if you don't mind.
Yeah, what you got?
All right. I noticed I do follow you on Facebook. It's only been a few weeks since I was introduced to you. And I noticed you have a family. And I also noticed that you mentioned how you coach a football team, right?
Yeah.
Now, you have is it a son that's been putting up massive gains in the weight room?
Yeah. I've got a son who is an 8th grader who bench presses 225 pounds, 12 reps.
Oh my God, that's more than me.
And squats 405 pounds.
Jesus, at 8th
I
grade.
think shit's bigger.
I
than
just
Kevin.
learned today that he made the V7 Elite All-American team, which was put on by Michael Vick. He's he made the Brett Cooper All-American game. He made the High Roller Showdown in Las Vegas. He might be the best 8th grade football player in America. And that's not a dad saying it. I'm saying there are lots of coaches in the country that say William Long is the best 8th grade football player in America.
Well, you may have heard it first live on the Kevin Hawley Show. William Long.
There you go.
Get his
there you
autograph
go.
right now.
Yeah. Hey, perception's reality, Kevin.
Yeah, it is.
Perception's reality. If you say he is, then he is. So,
there you go. Well, then
that's my little trick to get you to say it.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got a trick. If you could maybe say something, would you mind doing a show promo for us while I've got you live on the air? I'll record it later.
I'd love to do it.
Something like you're listening to the Kevin Hawley Show, Fletcher Long. I don't know. Throw us out there.
Yeah. How about this? You ready?
Yeah.
This is Fletcher Long with Village Connection Talk Radio, and you're listening to Kevin Hawley and the Kevin Hawley Show.
That is fantastic. Thank you, Fletcher. Jay-Bird?
Hey, Fletcher, I'd like you to do one for Jay-Bird and Pops. I'd like to be like, I'm listening to my good friend, longtime friends, Pops and Jay-Bird on the Kevin Hawley Show.
All right.
That's the only reason I listen.
You were listening to my best friends, Jay Bird and Pops, on the Kevin Hawley Show. The only reason I even tune in the first place. So tune in to listen to Jay Bird and Pops.
Yeah.
Let's give him the clap, everybody.
He's got the clap on
Give
that
Fletcher Long a clap. Woo! Oh my God, that's fantastic. Fletcher Long, I can't thank you enough for calling into the show tonight. You're actually really cool. I was talking to Pat before the show, and I was saying, I hadn't a chance to listen to Fletcher's radio show, and I really wanted to. I put it off, and then I had a weak internet connection, so I had to abandon ship. And we were talking before the show, and I'm telling him, I know he's from Kentucky. I'm assuming he's got like a southern draw, maybe. And I thought maybe you would sound like Foghorn Leghorn or something.
He threw a few reckons
I
in
say.
You're a little far from that. You do have a very nice southern voice, though. It wasn't quite Foghorn Leghorn, but adorable. I bet the ladies love you. I bet you killed it in court with the female judges. Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, you know it, buddy. I mean, it was all they could do to not swoop down there and swoop me up. I'll tell you, if you go to my Facebook, I did a public reading at Books on Main in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. It's about 52 minutes long. It's been viewed like 1,300 times.
Yeah, I did see that.
But you can actually check out, I read a few of the chapters and stuff, and you can actually check it out a little bit. So.
Yeah, I did tune into it, but I was only in for about 35, 45 seconds, and it was
in 45 seconds I kill. But you got to get the right 45 seconds.
Yeah,
see,
exactly.
I mean, the first 45 seconds it kind of sucked ass, but there is a 45-second part in there that was like really good, but you have to go in about 32 minutes.
I'll go back to it. Pops, one more thing.
Hey, Fletch, is it true that you were so good you had a hard time getting a guy that would lie?
All right, that I was so good I had a hard time with a guy who would lie?
Defending a guy that would lie. In other words,
well, I'll tell you this.
All of your clients wanted to tell the truth.
All of my clients were innocent, absolutely.
Yeah.
But one thing I want you to know is they really
That's
don't.
A good lawyer right there.
Yeah.
They don't tell you that they did it, because the last person in the world they want to not believe in them is the guy that's fighting for their life.
For sure.
So I mean, they're pretty adamant. Nobody comes in. I think one time, and I knew Johnny Cochran, the late Johnny Cochran.
Oh yeah.
And he
the
kind of
OJ
intimated
guy.
to me. The OJ guy. He kind of intimated to me that OJ might have said more to Jerry Spence, his first lawyer, than he needed to, and that was why Jerry Spence withdrew. And I think Jerry Spence probably said, "Hey, look, don't tell the next lawyer you cut her freaking head off." Okay,
Oh,
I mean that's
wow,
probably
Are you saying
more information
OJ
than that
was
guy's going to need.
possibly guilty?
Yeah, are you?
Well, I think no. OJ was guilty, but the jury reached the right verdict because the government cheated to convict him. And in our system of laws, that's not okay.
Yeah, that's right.
The way you convict someone in America is called due process, and it is everything. And that jury did its job, even though the life of those two people dying is still worth the preservation of American democracy, Pops. I mean, you had friends that died for it. They may have died for it. But the rule of law in America is if you cheat government, you lose. That's the price you pay. We have no other consequence to make you bear other than you will lose.
Hey, Fletcher, hold on just 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and kill the affiliate feed here, and we'll spill over into the third hour on Spreaker.com. So, IRN listeners, that was Fletcher Long. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you, Lionel Nation listeners, for enjoying the show.
Next week, babies.
We'll see you next Wednesday on the IRN. And we are still live here on the Spreaker.com for the third hour. So thank you for doing that, Fletcher. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that's no problem, guys. That's no problem.
Awesome. So I have one other personal question that I'm dying to ask. I've never been to Kentucky. I own a small sliver of a piece of property, a vacant lot in Arkansas. And I've driven through the Midwest. I grew up in Chicago, outside of Chicago. Are there strip clubs in Kentucky? Do you live in a dry county? What are the laws like there?
Actually, to be honest with you, I live in Christian County, Kentucky, which used to be the only wet county. It was kind of funny that Bourbon County was dry and Christian County was wet. There was a strip joint in Oak Grove, Kentucky, which is around the Fort Campbell military base. But other than that, not too many strip joints in Hopkinsville, but right across the line in Clarksville, Tennessee, and on up into Nashville, of course, there's a ton of them.
Awesome. Have you frequented those?
Oh yeah, I've been to some. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
The reason I ask is we are, a bedroom community of Tampa Bay, Florida. We're out here in Newport Richey, Florida, about 20-30 minutes away from the massive amount of strip clubs.
He was a lawyer, not a priest.
Yes. I mean, I don't know a lawyer that wouldn't walk in a strip club.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that.
Profession.
I'm not saying that we frequent strip clubs. Of course, I don't.
Well, of course not, Kev.
No.
I mean, absolutely not.
Why would I do something like that?
Perish the thought. Why in the world would you want to see
He doesn't frequent them unless he's alone or with someone.
I bet Pops goes.
You better believe it.
He trolls the dumpsters downstairs.
The only problem is I can't see what I'm looking at anymore.
Yeah, gosh, that what episode was that, Jaybird, where it was Pops' birthday and they took him to Mons Venus in Tampa, and it was Camden's first trip at a strip club. I want to say it was like episode 60 something. Check out our show reel, Fletcher, if you're ever intrigued to have your ears bleed. We've got about going on 100 episodes on Spreaker on our show reel. A lot of fun stuff, man. You can just kind of pop through them.
That's fantastic, and I really want. Can I thank Joe Williamson for booking me?
Hell yeah,
on
we
your
love
show?
him. Joe Williamson,
Great man, love that guy.
He really is a fantastic guy, and I called him up one night late at night. And, he was kind of everybody. We all have these bouts of depression, particularly if your life is mine. But anyway, I called him up one night and he was a little down, and I was what I was doing is I was making an application for a book reading at a big bookstore in Nashville, right? And they wanted to know, how I was going to publicize it. And I said, well, hey, Joe, do you mind if I put down here that you're my publicist? And he goes, well, that's not going to impress them. I'm really I'm not a big operation or anything.
Sure.
And I said, oh no, Joe, this is Nashville, Tennessee. Fuck, I mean, you're from California. It wouldn't really matter if you were in a shoebox. They're going to be impressed, But the next day, I called him up and I said, Joe, you have one of the most impressive client lists I've ever seen. I mean, and your clients love you.
They sure do, man.
And so I love you. So if that's not being a success, then what is success?
I'll tell you what, man. I was so happy to interact with Joe Williamson and the Williamson Management Group. One of the first interviews we did about 2 years ago, or I don't know, a year and a half ago, whatever it was Laureen Landon from Huntress Hundra, and she was one of the, Lorene Landon. She was one of the stewardesses in Airplane.
Oh yeah. I know exactly who that is. That's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah. And well, I approached her on Twitter and was able to book an interview with her. And after that, she was like, any future bookings go through the management group that I belong to. And that's how I met Joe. And he gave me a call, and he's got that awesome Canadian accent. He's like, "Hey, Kevin, how you doing, eh?"
Yeah.
And he's been nothing but stellar to our program here. He has hooked me up and with so many talented actresses, actors, writers, directors, producers, and authors that you're right. If that's not the definition of success, when your clients love you and the people that you book your clients on their shows love him. You know what I mean? It's an amazing thing. It really is. So definitely.
Well, I know this. When Joe Williamson calls me up and says, "Hey, I need you to interview so-and-so," I'm doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're thinking about getting someone to manage your career and you want publicity, that's the damn guy to do it.
Fletcher, I'll tell you what, I've never told him no, and it's been going on 2 years now. And never
I know.
once.
I mean, you obviously will interview anyone. I mean, I'm living proof that you ain't cut. What in the hell are you culling if you're letting me on?
He interviewed me. He did a whole show on me. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's true, man. It's actually true, but yeah.
I'll tell you something now. There is a guy in New York you might want to avoid. This guy's his name Gerard Sclafani, and he contacted me and he said, I am the Capi de Tutti. I'm the Capi de Tutti. No, the Capo de Tutti Capi of the mafia.
Okay.
I said, "Wow, you're the boss of all bosses, huh?" He said, "Yeah, I am the shit. I am the guy." And so I put him on the air, and he he's supposed to tell me all the secrets. He's going to tell me where Jimmy Hoffa's buried. And he's got Jimmy Hoffa's tooth in his pocket and all this shit. And I started asking him questions about the mafia, and he's no, I don't know. And I'm like, "You don't know shit. 50 minutes ago before we went on air, you knew all this shit." And then he tries to send me this text message one day. He goes, "I hope you understand, with all due respect," I don't know what respect I'm due, but with all due respect, there's some things I just can't tell you. I'm like, "Look, man, don't tell me that you're the boss of all bosses and you're ready to come clean and then hide behind the mafiosi oath of emerita, okay? I don't want to hear that shit, because that's not what you told me you were going to do." And so I ended up, finally, I blocked him this morning. And, the Village Connection, we have a show host page on Facebook, and somebody said, "Hey, guys, y'all got to quit booking this Sclafani guy." And I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'm the guy that fell for that shit."
Fletcher, I'm sorry this is really awkward, but Sclafani's been in studio with us this whole time.
Crap.
Yeah.
I know. I'm a dead man. I got it. Yeah.
He arrived in a black helicopter. It was really weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. If he is the head of the American Mafia, they're probably looking for him right now, because some of the shit he said would, first of all, even acknowledging there's such a thing with those guys will get you in a lot of trouble.
Red team, go. Red team, go.
Yeah, that would be your first
Get him. That's right.
I have no idea what you're talking about, sir.
Oh, well, I've had a good life. What the hell?
Oh, man. All right. Well, Fletcher Long, everybody. We're going to go ahead and take our last break. Come on strong with the third hour here. Fletcher, you're more than welcome to stick around, call back, listen, all that good stuff. But we are going to go ahead and take care of Pops here for a minute and take our last final break. Fletcher Long, author, radio host, and past experience as a criminal defense attorney. Fletcher Long on Facebook. The book is, say it again for me so I don't mess it up.
For What It's Worth, the long version.
Thank you. I have it written down here, but it got blown away by our fans.
He can add guests on the Kevin Holly Show to his list now.
Yeah, there you go.
That's going right on my Facebook page. That is going straight on the Facebook page.
Oh, well, at least it's straight, man. I got that going for me.
I also see he's friends with Mel Novak, who is one of our favorites, too.
Yeah, we did interview Mel Novak back in the day.
We've interviewed some of the same people, because I interviewed Joycelyn Liu, too, and I interviewed her. See?
Oh, you'll probably hear her during our second break if you listen. She did a promo just like you just did for us, and it was fantastic, man. She was a beauty. She was at a cocktail party when she did our interview.
Cocktails.
Yeah,
I'll tell you something about Joycelyn that your research may not have told you.
Okay.
She was a member of the Alpha Gamma Delta sorority in college.
Really?
Yep.
Now, what is
see
that?
there? You see what you got to do, Kevin, to get to the cut. You know, you got to up your game, man. If you're going to get to the cutting edge of internet radio show hosts, you better.
Thank you for the advice. I will definitely take it.
Well, you know, it ain't worth shit. You're killing me. So I mean, you're already killing you're killing my show. So what the hell am I telling you?
That's awesome. Well, that's what we do, Fletch. That's what we do. Fletcher Long, everybody. Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
All right, buddy.
All right, my man. Fletcher Long, everybody. Woohoo!
That's pretty cool, dude.
Very cool guy, yes.
Some of our interviews pissed me off, but that guy was good, man.
He was awesome. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a lot of interviews that pissed us off, but I can name a couple I'm not going to bother with naming because why?
Well, no, I shouldn't say a lot of them pissed me off, but some have pissed me off.
One or two, yeah. Anyway, he was fantastic.
No.
Yeah.
No, more than one or two have pissed me off, but...
Pops, you really interacted with him a lot.
Jay's looking at me when he said that.
No, you're just sweating to death over there.
Yeah,
dude.
we got to turn the AC on, take our last break, and come back and kill the third hour here.
We got to patch it crazy, some meat, some air over here.
I drink water.
And I had this loaded up. I was going to do karaoke of my new Pat song, but it's frozen solid here, man. You know why it's frozen? Because the title is Stone Cold Crazy, and I was going to do Pat Shit Crazy, Pat Shit Crazy, oh no!
No, I think it's because God intervened. Stepped in.
Don't you mean Allah? Pat, you fucking traitor.
I don't think so.
Oh, I'm kidding. What? Okay, so I can make fun of Kathy and call her a dyke, but I can't call you a traitor?
Yeah, that's probably a bad thing to call him a veteran.
Okay, sorry. I was just joking. Jesus, man. Look at him. He's triggered.
Oh my God.
Look at the way he's looking at me.
He's sweating to death, man.
Shit. Like, yeah,
let him cool down a little
All right, before I rip on him, and
yeah,
my bad, dude.
terrible.
Sometimes I cross the sacred line on things I don't even know about, man.
We're coming back up.
All right, we'll be right back with the final hour of the Kevin Holly Show.
Otherwise, I can use this another day, but if you want to come back up.
Hold on.
What?
I want to hear this. You want to come back up?
It's up to you.
It's up to you.
It's up to you.
It's up to you.
Huh?
No, we'll be right back with more of the Kevin Holly Show.
You are listening to the Kevin Holly Show. The Kevin Holly Show. The Kevin Holly Show.
Hey, Beavis. Yeah. Yeah. What do you want? I was like listening to a show today. Yeah. Yeah. It was like called the Kevin Holly Show. It was like pretty cool and stuff. They were talking about naked chicks and things. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Hey, Beavis, you should listen. What do you listen to it on? You listen to it on the radio, dumbass. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Get it on the radio. Radio. Shut up, dillweed. Listen to the Kevin Holly Show and just shut up.
I just can't seem to find a way to fall asleep. Mentally exhausted and I'm tired of counting sheep. Thoughts are running circles in my head. Don't be afraid. Some things are better unsaid until the darkness fades. Don't believe everything on your TV screen. The media has a way to make you want to scream. I believe if we all stand up together, we push out the haters.
resident of Miami-Dade County, it is your right to know the names and likenesses of sex offenders living in your area. As a public service, we have created this videotape so that you and your friends and family can stay aware, stay safe, and maybe even have a little fun. Enjoy.
State of Florida has asked us to disclose our sexual crimes to you. We were bad, but now we're good. We're moving into your neighborhood. You know we're trying our best to be functioning members of society. We're not here to start no trouble. We're legally required to do the sex offender shuffle.
I'm Larry Arthauer, and I'll refrain from touching my neighbor's kids again. What I did was not too kind, but I'm a nice guy, you'll come to find. I've got a backyard and a real nice pool. Y'all should come over for a barbecue. We can make some cold drinks in my blender, but do keep in mind that I'm a sex offender.
Vernon Douglas is my name. My battery arrest is what brought me fame. But there's much more to know about me. I love to dance and I love to ski. I zip and zoom on through the snow. Just strap on my boots and watch me go. But I can't ski until December. Till then I'm just a sex offender.
I'm Charles Dolan, dropping rhymes. I've been arrested 7 times. I know that sounds like a lot. 3 of those times were for vandalism. Feel real bad, I got caught. Might do it again, probably not. I'm not here to make pretenses. I'm here because of my sex offenses.
I'm Sam Pound, I'm number 1. Apologizing for what I've done. In case you were wondering what that was, I snuck into a bathroom and I eat no truffles. I'm just here to do the sex offender shuffle.
Hey everybody, I'm Laura Hughes, proving girls can do it too. And by it, I mean touch your cousin. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't. You won't find me in your child's playset, cause I gotta wear this ankle bracelet. I'm not here to go on a bender, I'm here because I'm a sex offender.
Last name Bermholt, first name Mark. I'm moving in somewhere on your block. Not in a house, but in a van. If you need me to move it, I sure can. The last thing I want is any trouble. I've learned my lesson from the sex offender shuffle.
I'm the one they call Arthur Chase. They said I didn't have to show my face. My first trial ended in a hung jury. If I'm found guilty, they'll unblur me. I'm not the necrophiliac Arthur Chase. That's a different Arthur Chase. I'm not here to be my own defender. I'm here because I'm possibly a sex offender.
Okay, real quick, I'm not like these people. Okay, this is an extortion plot by my ex-wife, who's the only witness, and she's trying to take away my kids. And if I'm not here to pack my duffel, I'm just here to do the sex offender shuffle.
State of Florida has asked us to disclose our sexual crimes to you. We were bad, but now we're good. We're moving into your neighborhood. We're obliged to admit the crimes for which we were convicted. We're not here to start no trouble. We're legally required to do the sex offender shuffle.
Hi, this is Sharon Buckles. I am the dominatrix Selena Krause from the upcoming Scorpion Girl, and I am happy to be on the Kevin Hawley Show.
Please, don't you fuck my goat. Don't fuck my goat, 'cause I don't want my goat to be fucking anyhow. Please, don't you fuck my goat, no. 'Cause I don't want my goat to be fucking now.
And now for more stereotypes that are obviously not true.
We don't like tennis shoes, we wear sandals, and yet we have sex with goats and ride camels. I live in the desert in Abu Dhabi, so I squat behind a cactus when I have to potty. Roll your tongue on the R's, whoops, drop the bomb, Allahu Akbar. I played the flute and snakes come out of jaws. I caught a flight plane, didn't get far. And you might not believe it, man, but during the winter I ski in sand. And the TSA was like, man, how did you get out of Iraq? Iran, damn.
Watch out, watch out.
Rashid's got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Abdul-Jabbar got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Amir's got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Malcolm X got a bomb. I'm a billionaire. Check my Equifax. Always wearing turbans and bedsheet hats. An Arabian day in the life. See, I have 10 leashes, one for each wife. And I have 10 bombs, one for each flight. That I put my wives on, they speak without permission. Then, mommy, look, there's a plane in the air. I swear, it was just there. We're all Muslims, Salam, and we all live in a cave, Saddam, where we all eat lots of hummus, yum. My first website was thebomb.com. And you might not believe it, man, but during the winter I ski in sand. And the TSA was like, man, how did you get out of Iraq? Iran, damn.
Watch out, watch out.
Hussein got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Ramir Rashid got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Obama got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Osama bin Laden got a bomb. Well, not anymore. Don't touch my hat, it's sacred. I can make all my wives get naked. I have a phobia, I'm afraid of bacon. You need RPG, I can make it. We own mini marts and gas stations, but people buy beer to get wasted. Like 9/11 victims, I take
Whoa, dude, you don't,
What?
no,
Why?
you don't say that.
Why did you
Wasted like
stop them?
9/11 victims? Fuck no, we don't say that shit in America.
Oh,
You might say that
I
shit
didn't-
over in Lebanon, Afghanistan, wherever the fuck you from,
I
but in
didn't.
America, you get your ass killed out here, boy.
I'm
Take
sorry.
that shit out the lyrics. Right now, before I shove a cactus up your sandy ass.
I'm
Right now, I ain't playing.
Okay,
Shit.
I'm erasing it. I erased it. It's
Throw that damn falafel in the trash and focus.
it's gone, sir. I'm sorry.
Cue the goddamn music.
As the world waits for my plans to unfoil, during spring I jet ski on oil, and I bummed all sorts of different places, and the TSA is the most racist. They be like,
Watch out, watch out.
Rashid's got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Abdul-Jabbar got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Amir's got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Malcolm X got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Hussein got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Ramir Rashid got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Obama got a bomb.
Watch out, watch out.
Osama bin Laden got a bomb.
شما دارین گوش میدین به کوین هالی شو. شما دارین گوش میدین به کوین هالی شو. شما دارین گوش میدین به برنامه کوین هالی.
Fuck this podcast coming straight from the underground. A young wigger got a bag 'cause I'm not brown. And I'm the other color, so my co-hosts think they have the authority to talk for the majority. Fuck that shit, 'cause I ain't the one for a homeless motherfucker with a mic and some puns to be beaten on. He's really pale, he can go blow Joe in the middle of a sale. Fucking with me, 'cause I'm a broadcaster. With a co-host who's drunk and plastered. Jay's sitting in his car, listening to a podcast, thinking every wigger is busting a podcast. You never see me in the pen or Pop's Jim Nall walking Chuck's dogs. Beat a podcast out of shape, and when I'm finished, bring the yellow tape to take off the scene of the slaughter and keep homeless Chuck away from your daughter. I don't know if Jay's a fag or what, patting Kevin down and showing his nuts, and on the other hand, homeless Chuck, he never gets none, not from a black or a white woman, 'cause he falls down on the street top. Homeless Chuck solicits sex from a black cop. Jay Bird will swarm on any motherfucker with a gold microphone. Just because I'm from Newport Richie, punk podcasts are afraid of me. A young wigger on a warpath, and when I'm finished, it's gonna be my podcast with Pops, Homeless Chuck, and Jay. Yo, Jay, I got something to say. Fuck this podcast. Fuck this podcast. Fuck this podcast. Fuck this podcast. podcast. Yeah, fuck this podcast. Fuck you, Camden. Fuck you, Jay. Fuck you, homeless Chuck. What's up, Pops? Yeah. What's up, Pops? Yeah. Fuck this podcast.
After the hoppy hour, drop your cocks and grab your socks. It's the Kevin Holly Show on the Internet Radio Network.
Amigos y amigas, es el tiempo para más de la Kevin Holly Show. ¡Gol!
Dead puppies, dead puppies, dead puppies aren't much fun. They don't come when you call. They don't chase squirrels at all. Dead puppies aren't much fun. My puppy died late last fall. He's still rotting in the hall. Dead puppies aren't much fun. No, no, no. Mom says puppy's days are through. She's going to throw him in the stew. Dead puppies aren't much fun. Dead puppies, dead, 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 dead. Puppies, dead
everybody out there, sing along, okay? Dead puppies, dead puppies. Dead puppies aren't much fun. One more time for Roman Ruska.
Welcome back to the Kevin Holly Show. What in the butt?
This radio person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
He's got a pirate radio station. Nobody knows who he is.
You out there? You listening?
Welcome back to the Kevin Holly Show, everybody. We are back live. It is the third hour, and I could not be more excited about the third hour. Now, Jaybird and Pops took off. Jaybird is physically, mentally, and emotionally drained, as is Pops, after having major hip surgery and a titanium post put into his hip. So they took off a little early, which is fine. Thank you, Jaybird and Pops. I hope you guys enjoyed that. For those of you sticking around listening on the IRN, we love Jay and Pops. They are the original, besides Homeless Chuck, cast of the Kevin Holly Show. But, that being said, we do have Pat Berge sticking around for the third hour. Pat Berge, what the hell? How are you, buddy?
Can't get rid of me, can you, Kev?
I try to get rid of you, and it's like...
You should have moved that stone from the door downstairs.
I should have made a parody.
Meant to keep the vagrants out.
I should have made a parody about you, man.
Really?
Then we'd be fine, you know? Lori B., my fiance, sent me a Facebook message of a couch that she would like me to purchase for the home.
Nice, nice.
Cool. It's a nice
now,
couch.
I was asking you, why do you call her always Laurie B.? I asked that because it would imply that you have like a whole, like a C, D, E, and F.
No.
No?
Negative.
You're not trying to keep them in order?
I think maybe we should ask her. What do you think? I'm down for that. Are you down for that?
Yeah, this newfangled technology.
Fangle technology?
It is.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
How do you not know? You just said it.
Because it's really old.
This technology is old.
It's an old saying.
Do you hear the phone ringing while the music's playing while we're both talking? This is high tech.
Hello?
Hi, Lori B. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I noticed you just messaged me on Facebook, and you are live on the radio. Are you good with that?
No, because I'm in bed. I'm trying to sleep.
But you
Really?
just texted me.
No, I texted you a while ago.
I just got it now.
Well, I'm sorry for your mishap on the airwaves there.
While I've got you on the phone, Lori B.
You know you have to come home.
I just, Patrick was wondering why I call you Lori B. Is there a Lori A, C, and D?
Like, does he have, like, so many Lauries he has to keep them in order?
No, but there's going to be a Lori F for Lori fuck you up because you're keeping me up.
Yeah. I told him that, I have 3 ex-wives, and I thought this was a great idea. So,
Lori, the B stands for the first letter in her last name, Lori B. And if you ever called her cell phone and got her voicemail, it would say, "Hi, it's me, Lori B." And it's one of my favorite things to hear, aside from her real voice.
My sister was Laurie B. as well.
Your sister? Wait, I'm marrying your sister?
No.
Wouldn't that be ironic if you married my sister and I married your sister?
That would be creepy.
Lori, are you related to Pat Shit Crazy? Pat B?
No.
Gentle Pat B? Anyway, all right. Did you listen to the show at all, Lori?
No, I did not. Kevin.
Did you happen to talk to Trucker Kathy at all tonight?
I was conversing back and forth.
Awesome. So how'd that go for you?
Kevin, really?
I neglected to say anything about how you told me that it was a great idea to play that song.
Oh, really?
No, he didn't neglect. I didn't believe him.
I did not say it.
Don't play that game with me.
I didn't believe him for a second.
Yeah, Lori and all of her friends at work said it was a great idea to play that song, Trucker Kathy. So we beta tested that.
Nobody believes you.
All right, I'm lying. I'm totally lying. Whatever. Lori, I love you. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you with fresh McDonald's in a bag when I come home.
and he'll trim your hedges and mow your lawn.
And I will mow the lawn. I'm sorry I pissed off your friend. She was quite mad at me. Did you get the gist of that?
Yes, I did get the gist of that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for chatting, and I guess I'll let you go. Lori B, everybody. I love you.
Love you. Good night.
I'll see you in a little while.
Bye.
I'll bring McDonald's and mow the lawn. Bye.
And mow the lawn.
Bye.
I negotiated some extra work out of there, but I think I kept you off the couch.
Thanks. She hung up first, man. What's that mean? What does that mean, Pat?
It means you still haven't figured out how to use your damn phone. You're like 40-some years old.
It's high-tech equipment, Pat.
This
high-tech.
This high finagled.
Finagled?
Finagled.
Do you have any other...
Highfalutin. This highfalutin technology.
Is this a cornucopia of old technology?
It is.
Is this a plethora of old technology?
I think so.
All right. So I think we should get right into one of my favorite segments on the Kevin Holly Show. Are you ready? Here we go.
And for the Kevin Holly Show news, featuring Jay, Pops, Homeless Chuck, Pat, and Kevin Holly, where you'll hear more about news, a little bit more information about what's in the news, and what's new with the news on the Kevin Holly Show.
Man, that is a stellar bumper right there. Oh, my God. Anyway, in the news, Patrick, you can guess. Is this Florida or not Florida? Okay. A man posted on Facebook earlier this year that he was never going to go back behind bars. But that's where he is. Related to 3 pizzeria burglaries. Yeah. This particular county's sheriff's office deputies accuse Cameron Gore. Really? Cameron Gore. Guilty.
Any relation to Al?
I don't know. He looks like he's warm.
I'm totally cereal.
Yeah, he invented your cereal. If you were a cereal, you'd
totally
be
cereal.
You'd be
Man Bear Pig. Man Bear Pig's real.
If Pat Berge was a cereal, you wouldn't be Trix, you'd be Dix. You'd be Crap and Crunch. If you were a cereal, you would be Raisin Dix. Thank you.
That was terrible.
I tried.
Why would you want to harm me emotionally?
That makes it better.
That makes it all better for you, doesn't it?
So, a hidden security camera caught a good glimpse of Gore's face the 3rd time he allegedly broke into the pizzeria.
Gore.
Yeah. Investigators said that time he stole liquor and then posted a picture on Facebook wearing the same shirt with the stolen liquor and a caption that said, "It's going to be that type of day."
Sure is.
So this sheriff says, "We love it when the criminals help us put them in jail." Arrest reports indicated that Gore left behind fingerprints the first time he allegedly broke into the business. During the first 2 break-ins, deputies said that Gore left with about $80 in coin change. That's quite the coin purse, huh,
That
Pat?
was quite the haul right there.
You got a nice coin purse.
And no, I don't. I have a Louis Vuitton wallet.
With a chain on it. Do you drive a truck?
There's no chain on an LV wallet, thank you.
Oh, man. What fueled detectives' drive even more was that one of Gore's Facebook posts in February where he posted a prior Polk County mugshot and vowed he was never going to go back. And then he's got a picture. I see the picture. It's amazing. It's on Twitter. It says, update 8 p.m. May 8th. Hi, everyone. Guess what? Cameron is in custody. He will be booked on his warrant tonight. Thanks for sharing the tips.
Will he be able to update his feed?
I don't think so.
Will
From
they let
jail.
him tweet out?
The original post says, "Dear Cameron Gore, remember back in February when you posted your own mugshot on your Facebook page and you said, people wanted to see my mugshot. Here you go. We're never going to go back." And
welcome back.
Can you guess where?
Not Florida.
It is. It's Polk County. I gave you a hint.
Polk County?
Yeah, Polk
What
County.
did you say? Like, actually, Polk County?
I did. I made a mistake, yeah. How about this headline? Water from a broken hydrant pulled a man under his vehicle.
Out of Florida.
It says, you're correct. Deadly crash.
Water shortages.
This is a sad story. An 89-year-old Melbourne man died Wednesday after he was pulled under his vehicle by a stream of water from a busted fire hydrant.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah. How did this happen? Well, after 10 a.m., he was in his 2016 G30 Mercedes-Benz, and he hit a fire hydrant and broke it. He got out of the vehicle, and that's when he was pulled under it by water that spilled from the broken fire hydrant.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he was taken to a hospital where he died. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a horrible story.
Yeah, way to perk things up, Cal.
On a lighter note,
on a lighter note,
A
got any more elderly people plummeting to their death or something?
I do. Yes. I have a Fort Pierce, Florida woman. The U.S. Coast Guard rescued a Florida woman from a fire.
The Coast Guard rescued someone from a fire?
No, negative. The U.S. Coast Guard rescued a Florida woman from a frightening assault by a herd of... Can you guess what herd assaulted her?
Chihuahuas.
No, bigger.
Pigs.
She's a 400-pound woman that was assaulted by a herd of...
Cats?
The Coast Guard rescued her.
A herd of manatees?
Look at the big brain on Pat!
No.
Yep, this tourist was on vacation and she went for a swim around 2 p.m. in the afternoon when she was suddenly caught up by a herd of male manatees that possibly mistook the poor woman for a female manatee. I was just playing around in the water.
Oh, shit.
She says, I was just playing around in the water when I suddenly noticed a herd of manatees next to me. At first I was curious, but eventually I became scared when they started getting agitated, she recalls. Visibly traumatized by the latest events, then something pulled me under the water, and as I gagged for air, I felt the crushing weight of one of those beasts on my back, and at that moment I thought I was going to die.
She was getting raped by a sea cow that mistook her
herd
for another sea cow.
She was gang raped.
Gang raped.
By a herd.
Gang raped by sea cows.
That's funny to you?
Oh,
it's a
dear
tragic
God.
story.
Oh, no.
Have you no soul?
Oh, no.
You have no soul.
That's like the funniest freaking story I've ever heard.
I'll continue.
It can't be real.
She says, it all happened in a flash. All I remember is the horrifying sight of the manatees trying to grab me and force me into submission. Luckily, a man on a jet ski caught their attention and scared them away moments before the Coast Guard rescued me. She told local news reporters. Then, a bloody vaginal discharge, Pat. The sexual assault. Here, look at you.
We need some Barry White music right now for the sea cows.
Okay. I can do that. I can do that. Oh my God, dude. This is the first time she was ever assaulted by a herd of manatees.
We got it together, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So nice, you gotta say it twice.
The sexual assault of the herd of manatees on a human being could be explained by the menstrual cycle of the vacationer, believes Jane Keller, professor of biology at the University of South Florida. Oh, man. That does make sense. When a female manatee goes into her menstrual cycle, she is soon detected and pursued by numerous male manatees throughout the cycle. During that time, the female can mate with a dozen or more males in what is known as an estrus, or mating herd. It is possible that the animals mistook the bloody vaginal discharge of the victim's period as a female manatee in estrus.
Did this happen on Cinco de Mayo? There could have been...
It was a daiquiri, I swear. It was a margarita, strawberry margarita, on the rocks with salt.
I wonder
Come on.
I wonder if they were like, well, it's not the prettiest one here. But, you know.
Well, she's lucky to be alive.
Oh, God.
A 17-year-old lifeguard present during the sexual assault believes she's lucky to be alive.
Well.
And I quote, "We often see manatees nearby, but it's the first time they attacked someone."
They attack her.
There were so many
They
manatees.
just being really friendly.
There was at least 10 of them. They were fighting against each other to get on her back and hump her. It was like a big manatee gangbang.
Yeah.
She is definitely lucky to be alive, he acknowledges, visibly distraught by the whole affair.
She should be thankful. That shit doesn't happen to her at TGI Fridays.
No, hell no. But they do play this music there.
She's like the one that no one will sit next to.
Yeah, you got all the flair, the buttons, and you're a waiter.
She was the belle of the frickin' ball at that dance.
She's going to go to Fridays next Friday, and the waiter's going to have all that flair and buttons, and one of them's going to say, "Save the manatees," and she's going to get triggered and be like, "No! Fuck the manatees! No, don't really fuck them!"
She's going to have, like, what's that syndrome?
Stockholm syndrome?
Stockholm syndrome, where she's going to start missing them, being sympathetic.
And then she'll just swim with them.
She'll come back out and swim with them, and they'll ignore her and be like, "Leave me, bitch. I was drunk. I was Cinco de Mayo. Leave me alone."
That's ridiculous.
That's the craziest story I ever heard.
Well, get ready, because there's
Oh, God.
plenty more where that came from, Pat.
That is a good one.
It is.
I
actually.
can't believe I didn't hear that.
I
Hanging
can't
in the
either.
wrong. That's definitely Florida, by the way. Ding. The manatees gave it away.
All
Holy
right.
Jesus.
Here we go. How about this one? Out of Cincinnati, Ohio. It only gets worse, Pat. Welcome to the news on
How
the Kevin
could
Holly
it
Show.
get worse than being raped by a group of a herd of manatees?
I'll tell you. A babysitter was transported to a hospital. Now, this is all Facebook saved. I saved all of these articles and have not read them. I was scrolling through my timeline for the last 7 days, and I decided to save certain articles to read live on the show without any editing or preconceived ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our news and Facebook saved segment here without any bumper
If
music.
it's on Facebook, it must be true.
Of course. Now, this one comes from a very reputable news source. Anyway, a babysitter was transported to a hospital after inserting what into her vagina? Pat?
A what?
What did she insert into her vagina?
But who?
A babysitter was transported to a hospital after inserting this into her vagina.
A babysitter. A bottle of formula to warm it.
Close. But she decided to warm the baby instead. She put the
baby in her vagina.
Apparently so. In Cincinnati, Ohio, a 31-year-old woman was admitted to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center yesterday after the 14-month-old toddler she was babysitting got stuck in her vaginal cavity.
Oh.
Latifah Brown.
Oh. Don't say it.
What? Latifah Brown called 911 around 9:30 p.m. last night, reporting that she had a baby stuck in her vagina. Yep. Kathy in the chat room says a rattler. No.
Oftentimes, somebody would take there's a baby in my vagina as like, oh, somebody's giving birth.
Yes. A dispatcher at 911.
This was like, she's trying to, what, she thinking she's a kangaroo or something?
No, they have a
Joey
pouch.
back in the pouch or
They
something?
put him in a pouch. That's different.
What was she doing? What did
Well, let me explain, Pat.
Did she put him back breech? Did she just put him in
so
by
many
the
questions.
feet?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's find out. The operator first assumed that she was giving birth at home and dispatched an ambulance to the site. The paramedics had quite a surprise when they arrived on the site and saw what was actually happening. One of the paramedics, Brian Whitmore, related the incident in an interview with WBNS Channel 10 TV in Cincinnati. The little boy wore a diaper and pajamas, but he had his legs and abdomen stuck in the woman's vagina.
Legs, okay. All the way up to the abdomen.
The paramedics spent more than an hour on site trying to release the child from his difficult position, but were unable to get the toddler out. I don't know how she got the child in there.
Push.
We were both pulling as strong as we could, and he would not come out. Push. Lamont. Breathe.
Lamont.
Yes. Miss Brown and the child were finally transported to the hospital, where doctors were able to separate them after a delicate operation.
A C-section?
The young boy suffers from a dislocated hip, but doctors don't think he will suffer any more injuries from the incident.
If she's that crazy, why didn't she try to put him back in like through a C-section? Would have been probably more effective.
The babysitter
Please don't try that at home, folks.
She was interrogated by police and confessed to deliberately inserting the child in her vaginal cavity.
It wasn't an accident?
Nope. She explained that she was feeling depressed after her doctor told her she could never have children and wanted to know how it felt to give birth.
Well, now she knows.
Now she knows. Miss Brown now faces a total of 11 criminal charges, including aggravated child neglect, causing bodily harm, and could spend up to 65 years in prison.
Probably a safe place for her to be.
Yeah, her lawyers asked for a psychiatric evaluation, claiming that she was not fit to stand trial.
Really?
Depending on the results of the evaluation, her trial could begin in June.
Yeah, well, you know, she's completely normal. She sounds completely normal.
All right. So that happened, Pat.
Yeah, it did.
Also in the news.
Brought me down from the fun I had with the manatee.
You had fun with the manatee?
No, with the manatee from earlier.
I know, that was a rhetorical question, Pat.
Cinco de manatee.
Wow. Also in the news, a man was nearly hit by a prop that fell off of an airplane into the Indian River. This is a true story. This is on Bay News 9, right here in Tampa Bay, Florida. Let's see here. All right. An airplane on approach to land at Orlando Melbourne International Airport lost
Florida.
a propeller.
Ding.
Yeah, lost a propeller over the Indian River on Wednesday, narrowly missing a fisherman. Mm-hmm. Now you go on BayNews9.com and the prop is huge. It's like as big as his boat, dude. Mm-hmm. I heard this giant splash over my shoulder. Let me go ahead and read it in Turner Breeden's voice. This guy looks like he's got long hair, trucker hat, some sunglasses, a fuzzy goatee, and fuzzy beard, T-shirt.
Do you have a straw you could place in your mouth? Maybe chew on a pen.
That's a great idea. I do. Those are all dirty. I can do this.
Okay, you got it.
All right.
Method acting. God, you're brilliant.
Thank you. I appreciate the love. Turner Breeden says, I heard this giant splash over my shoulder, and I was fishing along the bank just a few feet away from where I was at the base of the Eve Galley Causeway. Something had dropped in the water with authority. It wasn't a potential fish to catch or frolicking dolphins. It was none of that. I turned around and I saw a huge circle where the splash was, and I see this shiny thing. He saw a shiny thing, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
He said moments after it happened, I was looking up to see if anything else was coming behind it. So I walked up to it, and sure enough, it looked exactly like a propeller. So from a plane propeller fell off. No, it's not that big, but it's pretty big. There was floating about 50 feet off the bank. So
if it hit you, you would be screwed.
Literally screwed, because they call propellers screws. You know, screws turning. Roger, 49er. Are the screws turning?
Really?
Yeah, you never heard that?
Well, like on a submarine.
Screws turning.
Screws. No, I've heard that like on a submarine.
I found a prop! He put that prop on eBay, I later discovered, and current bid is $124.
Really?
Yeah, so you can buy the prop.
I think you would want to keep that.
I would probably.
As a momentum of...
momentum?
You know, as a momentum of...
momentum.
You know, to sort of remind me of the frailty of life.
Well, momentum. The props do have a lot of momentum, especially falling from the sky on a fisherman, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, all right. Speaking of planes...
And how do you not screw on your screw properly? Who screwed on the screw?
They counter-rotate. Maybe it was counter-rotating and it unscrewed.
Well, you would have like a counter-rotating screw for the screw.
But maybe they had a regular rotating
you would think that somebody...
nut.
That's sort of important. You need the prop for your plane. You know, I hope they're doing an investigation on that. What happened to the plane that's apparently missing a prop?
No story on the plane missing the prop.
Well, I guess there's no story there, right? Just the guy in the fishing boat. So nobody cares that there's a plane flying over Orlando, over Disney World, circling around, ready to go into some sort of a dive because it's lost apparently one of its props.
All right, you know what, Pat?
Yes.
It's time to play a game. Are you ready to play this game? It is time for Steakhouse or Gay Bar, live on the Kevin Holly Show. Are you ready?
Sure. I did really good with the Florida.
Gay Bar or Steakhouse, live on the Kevin Holly Show with Kevin Holly and Pat Berge. I will be quizzing Pat Berge on titles of either a steakhouse or a gay bar. Pat will guess whether or not it is a steakhouse or a gay bar, and I will let him know if he's right or wrong. Pat, are you ready?
As ready as one can be for this.
All right. First subject is Dakota. Steakhouse or gay bar?
The state?
No. The name Dakota. Is that the name of a steakhouse or a gay bar?
Steakhouse.
Pat says steakhouse, and Dakota is...
Could be a gay bar.
Oh, it's taking so long for this old-ass computer. How am I supposed to play goddamn games with this old-ass bullshit computer? It's actually a gay bar in Santa Cruz, California. Pat, sorry, buddy. All right, how about Don and Charlie's? Steakhouse or gay bar?
Don and Charlie's?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. There's two guys. Could be gay. Could be,
really good steak collaboration.
Good steak. Good chefs. I'm going to go with straight.
Steakhouse?
Steakhouse.
Don and Charlie's is a steakhouse in Phoenix, Arizona. Way to go, Pat. You are 1 for 2. You're batting 500. All right, how about Excelsior?
Gay.
Pat says gay bar. Excelsior is a gay bar in New York City. You're 2 for 3, batting 670 right now.
Oh,
how about Cash in Country? Steakhouse or gay bar, Pat?
Cash in Country?
Mm-hmm. I can smell your country.
That's got to be a steakhouse in Texas.
Pat says steakhouse in Texas. Cash in Country is a gay bar in Phoenix.
Same
Sorry
thing.
about your luck.
Same thing.
How about the Woodward Cocktail Bar? Trucker Kathy probably has frequented this place a lot.
Oh, you're just a glutton for punishment, aren't you? Then I'm saying it's a gay bar.
The Woodward Cocktail Bar is a gay bar in Detroit, Michigan. Patch it crazy.
I wasn't implying anything with Kathy. I want you to keep your anger focused on Kevin.
All right. How about Uncle Charlie's? You have an Uncle Chuck, don't you?
I had an Uncle Charlie.
Uncle Charlie's, is that a steakhouse or a gay bar, Pat?
And it's got to be a steakhouse.
Pat's going to go with steakhouse. I'm looking in the chat room for any feedback here. Uncle Charlie's, steakhouse or gay bar? Pat says steakhouse. It's a gay bar. Again, in New York City. There's a lot of gay bars in New York City. That's where the dyke truckers hang out. Wow, Kathy. That's pretty low. I mean, why would you say something like that? Jesus Christ.
I don't know where that would come from.
How about the Dylan Prime? Dylan Prime, Pat. Steakhouse or gay bar?
Steakhouse.
Pat says steakhouse. Dylan Prime is a steakhouse, again, in New York City. Way to go, Pat. Nice. 4 for 7.
Nice.
How about the Lola at...
Gotta be a gay bar.
Pat says gay bar. Lola is a steakhouse in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to go with this. Excuse me. This one here. Cherry Stones.
Cherry Stones?
I'm going gay bar on Cherry Stones.
Gay bar.
We agree it's gay bar. Cherry Stones is a steakhouse in Los Angeles, California.
It's still gay.
Home of the beautiful Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay. It's all gay with Kevin, says Glick in the chat room. Thanks, Glick. Appreciate that.
If it's in California, they're gay.
How about...
Sorry to offend if I've offended any of our California listeners. I think they're going to be listening to this later anyway, though.
How about Willie G's? Steakhouse or gay bar, Pat?
Steakhouse.
Pat says Willie G's is a steakhouse. I'm going to go gay bar, and we will say that Willie G's is a steakhouse in Denver, Colorado. Way to go. All right, last one. The Pilsner Inn. Steakhouse or gay bar?
Steakhouse.
Pat says Pilsner Inn is a steakhouse. Pilsner Inn is a gay bar in San Francisco, California.
Oh, my God. There's a gay bar in San Francisco?
Last one, bonus. Charlie Brown's. Steakhouse or gay bar?
Charlie Brown's? Steakhouse.
Pat says steakhouse.
Don't be gay.
Charlie Brown's is indeed a steakhouse in L.A.
Thank you.
Boom, Pat, you are 8 for 14.
Yeah, you would never get permission from like fucking comic books to have a gay bar named Charlie Brown's.
Well, what if his name's Charlie, man?
Well, still, you're going to be dealing with some serious issues. The steakhouse, probably let that slide.
All right, brother. Thank you for listening to the Kevin Holly Show. Thank you, Iron listeners. Thank you, Spreaker.com. Thank you, Trucker Kathy, for being a good sport. Glick, thank you, buddy. All of our listeners, we will see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'm tired. It's time to end the show. He really freaking blow. It's end of the Kevin Holly Show.
I'd like to thank you for listening to the Kevin Holly Show. I hope you've had as much fun as we have bringing it to you. It's really been a pleasure, and be sure and get us again next week.
Okay, bye-bye.